games,
Okay.
when I'm taking consoles anywhere, I like genres. I'm gonna need my first person shooter genre. GTA is just a must. GTA has to be on anything I've ever possessed. GTA is going to be on there. So GTA, I gotta put GTA on. I gotta put Call of Duty on. I gotta put my sports games on. And my sports games have three. I got three of those I gotta put on. I gotta put on basketball. I gotta put on FC, FIFA. I gotta put on Madden.
Okay.
All three gotta go. Not, but I don't. I have those on my PlayStation though, so I didn't do that in this particular time on my Xbox. I would wait until for those games to come to Game Pass for me to put them on my Xbox.
Round one, fight.
And that's the bottom line.
His kick is good.
I need a weapon.
You cannot escape.
You forget 1,000 things every day. How about you make sure this is one of them? Here we go!
It's time for the main event.
All right, what's up, and welcome to another episode of the Single Player Experience with your boy Sebastian Malden. And joining me is, let's face it, he's a goat. He's a regular here on the show. I like to have him here because I think he's one of my favorite people to talk to in podcasting, because like he gets me on a level that is like innately like a brother that I never had, because like we can talk about sports, we can talk about video games, we can talk about everything in between, from like anime to regular like pop culture events. This guy is phenomenal. He has an amazing sports show as well, Reggie in the ATL. You need to go check it out. But today he has a special assignment. We're going to be talking about his game of the year, because this boy's been traveling like Carmen Sandiego. He's been bouncing back and forth all over the world. And he's been, like, I want to get his insights on what it's like traveling in 2025. And mixing that in with gaming, we're going to be talking about his game of the year, and we're going to be talking about the game he wish he would have gave more of a chance to, or the game he regrets that he didn't get to play more in 2025. So strap in, everybody. This is going to be a great episode. I'm Sebastian Malden, and my guest today is Reg in the ATL. Reg, how you doing?
Doing very good, man. Doing very good. I had to change my name to Worldwide Reg now because I've been traveling so much that I'm not in ATL. And you know what's funny about that nickname is I have a friend who used to call me this way back, like going back, man, like 20-ish years, 20, 21 years or so. And when he very first started calling me this was in about MySpace, 'cause I had friends from like all over the world. So he would say Worldwide Reg, and I had never been anywhere in my life at that point besides Canada. Canada is the only place I'd ever been at that point. So then I was going about Reg and ATL, and then this past year or so, or the past couple years, say after I went to Europe, I talked to him again, and he was like, no, you're actually traveling now. You have grown in more into the name. It only took 20 years to do it, man. So I've gone back to using that name now. And it's nice, man. It's a blessing to be able to travel in general, man. If you're fortunate enough to do so. And I think that initially, I guess like earlier on in life, I just valued things more so, because I think everybody can travel. It's just a matter of where you spend your money. A lot of people, well, I guess they think it's always has to be international travels, but as you know, and I've talked about my Frontier Pass before, I have my Frontier All You Can Fly Pass, and I use that thing. I will use it.
You've been abusing that thing. Is what you've been doing.
Yes, I have. I use that thing like a bus pass, man. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be international travels. It could be just hopping on that Frontier Pass. As long as you got $35, man, that'll get you there. And $35 and patience is all it takes for Frontier. $35 and patience.
I like it. You, like you've been traveling, internationally and domestically. You went to New York semi-recently as well and saw like a really cool soccer game, right?
My favorite city, man. I love New York. I go there. I've gone there a couple of times now. I went to New York just to work out, man. That's what my Frontier Pass does me. I was in New York, and I talking to a coworker the day before I was working. I work in events in Atlanta. So I'm talking to a coworker, and I'm like, hey, man, I think I'm going to go to New York tomorrow. And he was like, all right, man, what are you going to do? I was like, I'm going to go there, man. I'm going to work out. I'm going to go to Central Park. I'm going to hang out a little bit. Then come on. He's like, all right. And that's exactly what I did. I went there, and I sent him a picture of me working out in the Planet Fitness. It's on West, I think, 34th. It's the Planet Fitness I was in. And yeah, I killed him right there, man. He was like, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like,
that's big baller.
But you can
stuff.
on that Frontier, $35, man. $35, guys. It's cheaper to go to New York on that Frontier Pass than it is to give me an Uber from my house to the airport.
That is amazing. That is amazing. That is amazing. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And to get the same workout you got at the house, basically, you were just like, I just want to experience something new.
I'm
Just
going to
want to work
Planet
out.
Fitness, bro. Like I gotta
Yeah.
go. I gotta go. I've been Planet Fitness all year. I had to go because I had like type 2 diabetes, and my doctor told me I was fat, and she was like, "Yo, you got to go do something." It's like she told me like this is a great part about having an international doctor because they just keep it a buck with you. They're not gonna really like sugarcoat anything. She was just kind of like,
Hmm.
"For overweight, do you want to go to the gym or you want me to give you insulin, like, or you want medication?" And there's some people that would be
Wow.
like a
She
funny
broke it
question,
down.
but to her that was like a serious. She was serious. Like if I said the medication, she would have just went load it up. All right, see you later. You know what I mean? Type.
That
And I
is
was just like, no, I'm gonna
real.
go to the gym. I was like, I'm going to the gym at least try. So I gotta go to, I like it. Once you start going, it's kind of hard to stop, man. But so what I do is I'll go. If I'm in Chicago, I've gone to Planet Fitness all over, man. Chicago, New York.
That's so
If there's a
good.
Planet Fitness, I will definitely get there.
That's so real. Like I saw a video not too long ago about people who would take like their VR headsets into the gym, and while they were getting their cardio in on treadmill, they'd just be in there. They would
Man,
either
I'm
be
waiting to see that in the wild. Like what
I
like that would be absolutely amazing to see
that is
somebody
crazy.
like on a treadmill in their VR headset. It would
They
be
just
amazing
had
to
their
see.
VR headset. I think it was like a Meta Quest, and then they were on the treadmill, and they just popped out a controller out of their backpack and were just playing the game while just walking on the
Very
treadmill.
interesting, man. I mean, sometimes it's better to get it in however you gotta get it in, man. No
Yeah, that's
judgment zone.
determination. That's determination. So I want to ask you right off the top, because you've been everywhere this year. New York just to go work out. You went to Egypt, I believe, like Cairo, right?
That's where I just came back from, yeah.
Yeah, Cairo. You
Cairo
went
and
to
Luxor.
yeah, you went to Spain as well. I'm like, what was that like? Not only experiencing those places, but like, how'd you balance gaming out? Because I think you took your portal initially, right? Your PlayStation
Yeah,
portal.
so the gaming, when it comes to me and gaming in my life, there's no such thing as like it not being there. So it's kind of like it's no such thing. There's always gonna be balance because it's always present to a certain
Hmm.
degree. You know what I mean? It's since it's always a thing, it's always kind of background, whether it's gonna be at night. My gaming habits kind of changed a little bit depending. So when I was in Egypt, I was playing on my Switch, and that's what led to my Rogue, and we'll kind of get into that. But that's what kind of led to that sequence of things happening. As far as the Rogue Ally purchase, I was gaming a lot in Egypt at night. Similar, when I think about my gaming habits internationally, a lot of times what they tend to be is in the hotel at night before bed, which is kind of like my natural gaming situation. So I maintain that. And even if when I have my handhelds, I'm going to game. If I have my controller, I'm going to game on my tablet in the airport. And I'll be gaming while I'm waiting for flights. I'll be
Hmm.
gaming when I'm in because I got to get back to the airport. I don't when I'm going to New York, bro. I'm not even. I'm doing like day trips to New York, so I'm not getting hotels. I'm literally getting into New York. I'm flying into New York. The great thing about flying from Atlanta is in like an hour and a half flight. I'm in
Yeah,
New York. If I
that's not
leave
bad.
Atlanta at 8:30, I'm in New York at 10. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
10 a.m. So now I'm here and I'll be there all day. Now my flight leaves. I got to get out of New York by 5 a.m. You know what I mean? I got to get out of New York. So I'm back at the airport around 2 a.m. So I have a block of 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. to where I'm just gonna be doing anything in New York I want to do, you know?
yeah, for sure.
And then I go back to the airport, and then usually when I'm there, my gaming time is gonna be around there, like around that 2 a.m. to wait until like my flight board. So between that 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. period, if I get a game of FIFA in or something, like I'm gonna play something in between
So
that time.
So, are you a big, like, gamer on the flight kind of person, or are you more of a nap kind of guy?
So here's the problem. Well, here now it's not a problem. Oh, the problems have been solved, my friend.
Yeah, for sure.
It took me a lot of money to solve it, but I've solved that problem. We'll talk about that later. But that was one of the things, because initially when I went to Korea, which is my first big thing,
Mhm.
was Korea back in 23. When I went to Korea, I was on my Switch a lot more, leaning into my Switch a lot more. So that flight is like I think it was like a 16-hour flight, I think. I don't know, 16,
Remind
18,
me, was
anywhere
that
between
around the
14
time
and
you got
18 hours.
the Switch? Was 23? Because I remember you got it later in the generation. You got it, like,
Correct,
almost like
correct.
a year and a half before the
Significantly,
Switch 2. Yeah.
correct. Significantly late. To the point where I got the OLED. And I don't remember when the OLED came out, but I got the OLED relatively soon after it came out, maybe 6 months to a year or so. Because that trip to Korea would have been October of 23.
Okay.
So I
So
was playing it a lot in that time.
So that's what inspired the Switch purchase was you were getting into your travel duffy at that point, international travels,
Yeah,
and
and some
then
Nintendo sometimes playing like Mario Kart with my girl and stuff like that. So
so the Switch OLED came out in 2021, and you said you got it like 6 months, like October of 2021. So you probably got it 6 months to a year later. So that'd been somewhat 22, probably sounds right.
yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Me too.
Okay,
Can it sounds like because I didn't have it. I don't want to say I don't think I had it for. I don't think I bought it specifically for the trip
okay.
because I want to say I had it for a decent amount of time before I took the trip.
So that's what kind of inspired everything. But then, so how what was like life like with your Switch? Switch OLED. Did it satisfy that
I liked
craving?
it, man, because at the time I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot because you got to think I'm not really a handheld guy. So even the Switch being my entree kind of into the market was a pretty good one. You know what
Hmm.
the great about the Switch and it's handhelds from different companies in my portal to a certain degree. And what I'm kind of getting used to with the Rogue Ally is that the games just kind of work on it,
Yeah,
and you don't have to think about anything. You know what I mean? You just put it in and play the game.
it is very
And there's
turnkey
something to
friendly.
that, right?
Yeah,
It's just very easy. Kill some time with it. I took my Switch. I have a friend, a coworker, who brought his Switch. We were on the road for an event on the road. I think we were going to Athens, and we both brought our Switches because we were in a shuttle. So we both
hmm
brought our Switches, and we were kind of just playing our Switches the whole way down there, the whole way back.
just big
But it was
chillin'.
a great experience. Great experience, man.
So what like you that being your big foray into, I think you told me you wasn't historically a Nintendo person, right?
I'm still not. I would say that, Nintendo's always hold a special place in my heart because I'm a nerd. So, of course, I
Yeah,
mean, of course, it's my first. It started everything way back in the day. You know what I mean? Like way
yeah,
back in
for
the day.
sure.
It always hold that special place, and there's always somewhat of a checking for it. But I think the problem with Switch and Nintendo in general for me is that I'm a tech nerd more. So if there's one thing I am more so is I'm a tech nerd. I like tech stuff. I like advanced technology. You know what I mean? I'm a fan. I'm an early adopter. I like tech. I like where things are going. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I loved going to the looking at the consumer electronics, the E3s back in the day. I loved seeing what was up and coming. More so like that. And Nintendo, kind of runs back like late on their technology. Like
Yeah,
we
for
look at the way
sure.
their technology is. I'm thinking the Switch 2, are we up to like PS3, PS4 now? I
If
don't know where's the par for that.
It feels like Switch 2, I would probably say is anywhere, personally speaking, I would probably say it's anywhere from Xbox Series S to PS5, PS4 Pro on, I would say on smaller scale indie stuff, and then like on native Nintendo first party games, it feels more current gen. I
Nice.
think
Now that's nice though for the price. I mean, because that's not easy to get. If you're getting, because current gen in theory is where PS5 Pro is, right? So if you're
no, I
getting
would say current gen's PS5. Like
okay, so
PS5 Pro,
PS5,
I
okay,
would.
okay.
Yeah. I'd say that's higher end of current gen. I'd probably say like,
But PS5 is still impressive, man. That's
oh yeah, for
impressive.
sure. For sure. I think like, but that's what I mean, we haven't seen very many games to come out and test the Switch, like, and that are going to be graphically intensive games. Like, I think like we'll see a little bit more of that in next year when I think like Indiana Jones, I
Yeah.
think is going to be ported to it. And then you'll
That
have,
FromSoft's got a game coming that I don't think it's going to get me to bite on it all the way. But that FromSoft game is coming, and I definitely remember it. And if that FromSoft, so let me tell you this, and this is how the power of games. If that FromSoft game, because I started when I was mulling over the go by just buying a Switch 2 versus getting a Rogue Ally X, I was like, well, I'm just gonna get the Switch 2 as much like half the price, much
yeah,
cheaper.
for sure.
And I decided not to, and I'm very happy I didn't for a lot of reasons for myself as a purchase as a gamer. If that FromSoft game had been out, let's say that game had been released and it was already out, right? And it was a killer app and it was out and it was
The
tens.
Dust Bloods.
Okay. Like it comes out and it drops like Zelda. You know what I mean? There's tens all over the place. Oh man, Sebastian, it would have been it would have been like that pull towards the Switch 2 would have been monumental for me if that was the case. You know what I mean?
Let me
But
ask
it's not there yet.
Let me ask you, because I think that's an interesting scenario, but I think like let's put details in it and see if your answer changes. Like, okay, did you see that pool whenever for Elden Ring Urge, like not Erdtree, but like what is the I think Shadows of the Erdtree is the like multiplayer run, right?
No, that's Night Rain.
Night Rain, Erdtree is the
Yeah,
big
which I
expansion.
don't even really consider. Night. Let me tell you, Night Rain is like I don't know, man. I don't want to say it's like Last Jedi status for me, man, but it's like I don't know. It's like we know you. We're aware of you being in the family. You know what I mean? We know we see you at the reunions every now and then. You know what I
But
mean?
it feels off
But
brandish for you.
yeah, we see you at the reunions every now and then. But it's kind of like we say we're gonna. Hey, man, we'll keep in touch, man. But we never do. Right? We
So
never talk again after that. And that's me and Night Rain. Like I'll keep in touch with you. I say I'll play it, and I almost came close to actually playing that game. But it's
mhm.
hard to consider that like a FromSoft game, man. I get it, Sebastian, I get it, but
Is it because
same.
it's a multiplayer mostly centric game?
Yeah, it's just not the same. It's like Fallout 76 to Fallout. And
I get
and, and it
that.
took Fallout 76 a while because I didn't fall for it. My friends like, man, Fallout 76. I'm like, no, guys, I'm not.
Mm-mm.
I'm not following. I'm sitting on my hands, man. I'm used to that in-depth single player experience that Bethesda can give me, and I know how hard that is to do in an MMO environment. And I think they've fleshed that out now. I think they've done a good job over time of closing that gap between Fallout and Fallout 76. But Night Rain, no, it's not happening for me.
So what if I
Here
told
we
you
go,
Dust?
man. And this looks pretty good, right?
So what if I told you Dust Bloods is multiplayer Switch exclusive game from FromSoft?
So is it like in the vein of Night Rain? Is that what
It
you're saying?
is. It is a high. It's like apparently it is somewhere in the middle between Night Rain and Bloodborne, but it is a multiplayer type of experience.
Man, I dodged a bullet, man. Because then I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
So that
But
dampers
here's the
it
thing,
a
though.
bit.
I didn't really, I didn't really go through the process.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I have a process that I kind of go through. So the process I went through with the Rogue Ally, and whenever we talk about that, or whenever you go into it, I'll kind of talk about it. But I have a process, man. And if that's the case, it would not have passed. It would not have received a passing grade from me.
I'm curious about this. We'll segment into it, but let me read you the excerpt of like what the Dust Bloods is. It's like the Dust Bloods is an upcoming action role playing game from FromSoft for the Nintendo Switch. A multiplayer game. It supports up to 8 players and features both players versus players, so PvP, and players versus environment PvE gameplay. Players choose from over a dozen vampire-like characters known as Bloodsworn, each possessing unique weapons and abilities to compete in matches across various maps. So it almost sounds like multiplayer PvP or PvE, just kind of like what you'd see in a lot of shooters, but with a FromSoft type of environment or skin on top of it. Like FromSoft's flavor of
No,
a
sir.
multiplayer like shooter almost is what that's kind of my interpretation of all that. Does that intrigue you at all? Because it doesn't me.
No, that sounds terrible. Like, and I'm very unhappy with the way things have turned out here, and extremely excited. You just ratcheted up my road purchase even more. Had just been ratcheted up. You just made me feel even. I'm already feeling great about it, but you just made me feel even better about it.
So that, yeah, it helped validate that even more. So we talked about like who you are as a gamer. You're not really like, you appreciate Nintendo for the history of Nintendo, but not really like a native like nostalgic Nintendo
Yeah, and
gamer like
I
me.
like having my Switch. I do like being in the ecosystem, dipping my toe in the ecosystem. I do like that, just as a nerd in general.
Like I connect with that because I'm not a Nintendo gamer at all. Like I don't have any nostalgia for most Nintendo franchises, and while I appreciate what they do create to like creative wise, I don't salivate when I see a new Mario or Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad Donkey Kong got a game. I'm not touching that. You know what I mean? Like I
Right,
get
right,
it.
right.
I understand. I'm
100%.
like I like Pikmin. I like Smash Brothers. I like Pokemon, but Pokemon feels stale to me. And then Yeah, that's really about it. Oh, I love Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem's the only one I'll probably say like I'll ride or die for Fire Emblem after Three Houses, but Fire Emblem and that's basically it. Like all the other ones, I'm like, you can miss me with that. I'm not a Nintendo gamer. Like I haven't touched my Switch in probably a year and a half at this point.
That was my problem also with buying a new Switch, was that exact same problem. It's hard for me to purchase something new when I'm not playing the old iteration of it that I have it. If I have your original version and I'm not playing that, what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
So let's segment. You have the ROG Ally. I want to talk about your purchasing
Yes,
decision.
let me
What
go ahead and
led?
pull that up here.
Yeah,
Let
let's pull
people
that big
here.
boy out.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah, you can
like
see that.
that.
Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice little form factor with the controls there. Makes it easier
Hmm.
to grip. You know what I mean? It makes it pretty easy to grip. And also, despite the weight, like I will tell you this, I friend of mine brought his Switch to about 4 or 5 days ago to work, and we're like looking at it, and I'm kind of he had done this with a Portal before. He did this with a Portal, by the way. This is the same guy who brought his Portal to work. He had just bought the Portal, brought it to work. It took about roughly 180 seconds of me touching and playing it to purchase
Yeah.
it. Like I was done in 2 or 3 minutes. His device, the Switch 2 is light, man. Like it's light, much lighter
Hmm.
in comparison. Like the Switch 2 just felt so light. This thing is not light because I mean it's just not. It's not light, you know. However, the way that it sits, you see how it kind of like sits in my
Yeah.
hands like that, where the way it kind of just sits like that, and in your hands, and with the big buttons kind of here, make it just easier, you know. And the full size thumb pads, it
The
just makes it
triggers. Yeah.
easier, man. Yeah, it makes it easier here too. Makes it easier to use and easier to hold for a decent amount of time. I'll say too. Because
Sometimes
if you're
that
gonna be
weight
gaming for a
behind.
decent session, you gonna wanna make sure it gets comfortable, and I don't like the little small grips. What
Yeah.
changed Nintendo for me, by the way, what changed the landscape for me was putting the was I bought a kinda like an adapter, Sebastian, that I can just slide my Nintendo OLED screen into, and it had regular size controls, okay? It was like a regular
Yeah.
size controller. Changed my life with that device. So seeing this have regular size controllers, having a regular size controller was a big buying factor for me, and it has proven
It changed
to
everything
work
for
out.
you.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes a difference, man. I don't want to be playing on a Switch when I first got it, and now that I'm kind of not, because I've only bought the full size controller right before I went to Egypt, so I haven't had it for any amount of time.
So now that you have the ROG Ally X, what's the Switch looking like? Like, have you touched the Switch very much since then, or
I wasn't touching it before I had it. Like, you kidding me? Like, bro, I had your year and a half is take about 6 months off that for me. Maybe it's been a year due to vacation and only. Like, if I had not gone on vacation, it probably would have been longer than that. You know what I mean? So that year is only due to a certain circumstance that triggered that year. I'm not at my crib playing it. You know what I mean?
Mhm. So there's no games out there that basically says, worldwide Reg, we need you to play this. You gotta bust out that Switch right now. You gotta bust it out. Like it's
Man, it's
calling
like
your
a
name.
hierarchy over here, man.
Hmm.
No, it's a hierarchy over here, and the Switch is way down there because here's the problem. Here's the problem. Here's the problem the Switch has got to get through. It's got to get through the PS5 Pro. It's
Yeah,
got to get through the
that's a big one
PS5.
already.
It's got to get through the Xbox Series X. It's got to get through all three of those, right? Now it's got to get through the Rogue Ally. Then it's got to get through the PS Portal. bro, bro, where is it gonna go? Like where? Unless those other five have nothing going on, and like the other five have to have absolutely nothing going on, Sebastian.
That's rare. And that's rare. That's so rare because like even in like when a big Nintendo game comes out, I have other things that draw my attention more because like I'm not a Nintendo person natively, so I'm like I'm not stopping what I'm doing to play Metroid or playing like Mario Kart or DK Bonanza. So I'm like those games just don't appeal to me, but then like I'll stop my world for Ghost of Yotei. Like I'll stop it to get into the mix of Ghost of Yotei. I will like
Yeah, for sure.
stop what I'm doing and be like, "Oh, I hear like there's this big JRPG that everyone's talking about. It's based in France." And I'm like, "I need to probably play Expedition 33." I'm like, my world will stop for games like that. But then even then on like I was playing, what was it? Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which is like a 2D beat 'em up, like old school arcade style game. And I'm like, I'd rather play, and that game is on for the Switch as well. But I'm like, nah, dog, I'll play that on Xbox. I'll play that on PlayStation before I play it on my Switch. Like for one thing, for me personally, it's not just that I don't like the Switch. It's not just that the Switch, especially the OG Switch, feels archaic. I hate the button play layout. I absolutely despise that button layout. Like it has
So
like,
have you changed it? So I changed it on my Switch because I hate it too.
did you?
Like, so
Yeah.
yeah, instantaneously. And you know what's funny? I changed it on my Switch almost a day I got it. I changed it on my Switch because I couldn't deal with it. So I changed it on my Switch. And for some reason, I don't know if I'm just an idiot here, which is very possible. Don't get me wrong. I don't know how to get it to stop asking me every single time I turn it on if I want to turn it back. So
Yeah,
every
for
single time
sure.
I've changed it for the last 2 to 3 years, every time I turned on the Switch for the last 2 to 3 years,
It
it's
fights
asked me
you.
every single time if I want to change back to do I want to continue with this changed arrangement?
Yeah.
Basically, it's asked me every single time. There needs to be
Yeah.
a box you can check that says, "Do not ask me this again."
Again,
You know what I
basically.
mean?
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
that was my problem when I heard about it. I was like, oh, and it was like, I think it was like years into the Switch where I was just like, I was fighting it. I was fighting it, and then I heard that you could change the button arrangement, and then I got those notifications as well, and I'm like, you don't want me to play you. You don't want me to take you seriously. We
Right,
made the
right.
we made the Xbox layout for a reason at this point. Like that should be the standard now. I'm like, I don't want to go back to the old school Nintendo layout, and I'm like, I'll never do that. That's not who I am as a person. So at that point, I knew, I'm like, this isn't for me. This they're not serious, and obviously they don't care about my emotions, and so I'm like, I'm just not picking that up again. And I haven't had that pull to like go back and play my Switch. Like there's
I don't
nothing
think,
that's come
man,
out.
it's for one, they're gonna charge you to play it
Oh
a
yeah, for
lot of
sure.
money. You know what I mean? A lot of money is what they're gonna charge you to play it. So that's one of the problems that you're gonna have. And that's one of the issues that went into me buying the Rogue Ally, because when going into it, and now I'll talk a little more about the process, going into getting it,
Yeah, for sure.
I tried to fight it. I tried to fight it. And then, what's funny is I'm going back and looking through some of the messages that we've changed. 'Cause I'm going to go back to and find some of the messages where we talked about some of the games I'm going to talk about later. I'm looking for the exact messages where we talked about those games in real time. But one of the
Yeah.
ones I came across is a message that we came across in May or June. It was like May or June of this year, talking about the presentation, talking about the
Mhm.
Xbox presentation. And I'm like, it's nice and everything. I remember saying how nice it was and everything. I might buy it, but it's kind of high and all that stuff. So even back then, I see it. I think it's nice. It's cool. And I think I might purchase it, but I'm fighting it. Okay. Pre-order time comes and I am there. In the pre-order, I'm there. And
You
I
were
have
there.
one. It's in
Day
my
one?
cart.
Day
It's in my
one.
cart. It's in my cart. But I didn't pull the trigger. I didn't. I had the opportunity, Sebastian. I had the opportunity. But I'm like,
Was
you
it
know
be-
what? This is $1,000. There's just no way in hell. I'm gonna
Was
do
it
this. I'm
because
not
of the
spending. I
price, or
cannot.
was it because of like all the bad news around Xbox? Was it
The
because of
price.
like,
Nothing about
yeah,
the other. It was actually the other stuff. Is what convinced me. The prices was the only detractor here. It was
okay,
only one
gotcha,
detractor, and that
gotcha.
was price. So when I'm fighting the price, one of the problems is I'm getting. So I'm reading the reviews and I'm looking for some reviews to just like crap on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
for sure.
want reviews. I want to see some terrible reviews. I want to see like 5s and 6s, bro. You know what I mean? That say,
Yeah, for
hey,
sure.
do not stay away from this thing. Stay away from this thing.
And
But then
couldn't
I go to
find very
reviews and
many.
that's not what I'm seeing. Not seeing that. And I'm like, oh man, like now it's starting to grow. You know what I mean? Like it's starting to grow, bro. Because I'm seeing 8s and 9s, and some say, hey, man, this device is almost perfect. And they're not calling it perfect, but there people are really liking it. And I'm like, oh, man, like I needed people to really hate this thing. Okay, I
Yeah,
need people to really hate it. So
yeah.
I'm seeing that, and then I go to Egypt, and I'm on my Switch a lot there. When I go to Egypt, one of the things is that I don't have the internet connection to make my PS Portal viable, because if I had a stable internet, if internet connectivity, Sebastian, was 100% stable around the world, then my PS Portal would have been sufficient for me. I
Yeah,
would have just
that's
streamed
all you need.
and had no problems with that at all. You know what I mean? Because that's what I do at my house. I stream
Mhm.
my Portal every night, no problems whatsoever. I don't care about if I had no use for it. You know what I mean?
That was it. That's all you
But the
would have needed.
problem that's all I would have needed, right? That's all I would have needed. The problem was it's not great, so I end up having to go to my um Switch, the Switch OLED, and I didn't mind. I ended up playing the Ace. There's like an Ace Attorney game I think I was playing on there,
Ace Attorney's good,
and I
yeah.
really kind of yes, and I was really getting into it. You know what I mean? I'm playing through it, and I'm like, man, this. So when I first came back, I'm like, I get off the trip. When I first came back, this the first thing I was thinking was I need to really probably just get a Switch 2 because I can play an upgraded version of the Ace Attorney game. If I go back on trips, I'll play an upgraded version of this. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna get a Switch 2.
Yeah, for sure.
But then I think about the price of the
Mhm.
games. And this is all so everything I'm telling you now is the process.
Okay,
This is
gotcha,
all
gotcha.
the process that I kind of go through and I kind of try to start to really get into like the nitty gritty of if I'm going to purchase this thing. And once I came to the conclusion that paying $500 for something was kind of only holding off what I really wanted to play. It's kind of I would still know from a tech nerd standpoint.
Mhm.
We all know what it's like to know a better device exists, guys. We all know
Yeah.
what it's like. We have
It
something
calls
and
to
we
you.
know the better one is right there, man. It's right there. And it's the gravitational pull to acquire it. It's just something like you can't fight it. You know what I mean? You can't fight it just knowing that the better version is there just from a tech standpoint. I hate that part, but I mean, tech and trips where I spend most of my money, I don't really like, I'm not a clothes car guy. So this has definitely been my vice as tech has been kind of like the vice through life. So this is kind of the process I go through with a lot of products I buy. Just kind of like looking at reviews endlessly, looking at all the use cases, looking at the games, and 3 games on a Switch will cost me anywhere from a 200 to $240.
You ain't lying.
I can't
You ain't lying,
rationalize
especially
that
since
when
they
I could
got
just get a
like
Game
80 and
Pass.
$90 now.
Correct. That doesn't make sense to me. Like I can just pay for my Pass subscription. And even if I was to say, hey, pay the 30, which I don't ever pay $30 retail for my Game Pass subscription. I always just get cards somewhere. But let's say that I did. This past time, I was able to get my Pass subscription with cards I bought on CD keys for around like 200-ish for the year. You know, so if you pay full $30 for the year, you're paying about 360. But even if you take the 360 cost at how many games is that? It's like 5 5 games would cost you about $450 on the high end or the $90 end, and $80 in, $400 on the $80 end.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and play because I'm the kind of if you like value owning games, that's something I get. But I'm the kind of player that I don't revisit that much, Sebastian. Like once I play games, I'm on to something else because I usually have games kind of queued up. I have other games I want to play already. You know what I mean?
You're a new experience
It's
type of
like,
guy more than you are a nostalgia
well,
gamer.
a new experience for me, guy. Because some games I'm playing have already been out for a while. Like I'm just not playing Metal Gear Solid. It's been out. You know what I mean? So it's like
Are you
new
playing
experience
Delta?
for me. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Well, okay.
I game flight it though, bro. I game flight it. It's another thing too. I don't really. Another thing too, guys, is I don't purchase games, man. I don't. It's another thing. I don't really buy games. I have GameFly that I've had for about 12 years, and I probably more than that, 12 to 14 years for GameFly, and then I have Game Pass in my PlayStation subscription. I'm not the kind of guy who's paying $80 for games here and there, or for the most part. Games I feel like I'm going to invest a lot of time in, like a Baldur's Gate, I'm going to buy. I think I bought Kingdom Come Deliverance too. Some games like that I feel like I'm going to invest a significant amount of time in, I might purchase. And sports games as well. But that's about it though.
So let me ask you, bringing this to the ROG Ally X, you had to process, you had to validate whether or not like you had the reviews to say, okay, if the reviews are great, then the pull really starts. If the reviews are bad, then I'm validating I'm not going to spend
Yeah, then
$1,000
no
in
reason to
this.
even go down the rabbit hole
Yeah,
because
for
you
sure.
kind of start the process where it starts.
So basically, you broke down. You broke down. The temptation got you. Originally it was going to be late as hell when you bought this. They were talking about like almost like a month to deliver this thing. You got it early. What was the first game you fired up on this bad boy, and what was your initial impressions?
Okay, my first game that I downloaded on here was Call of Duty. Call of
Black
Duty.
Ops
I jumped
7?
in Call of Duty. Yep, Black Ops 7 dropped right into multiplayer, single player, get a feel for it. Because I always am a genre guy. So when I'm taking games,
Okay.
when I'm taking consoles anywhere, I like genre. So I'm going to need my first person shooter genre. I'm going to
Okay,
need,
gotcha.
whether I'm going to play GTA or not, it's got to be on there. GTA is just a must. GTA has to be on anything I've ever possessed. GTA is going to be on there. So GTA, I got to put GTA on. I got to put Call of Duty on. I got to put my sports games on, and my sports games have three. I got three of those. I got to put on. I got to put on basketball. I got to put on FC, FIFA. Got to put on Madden. All three got to go. Not, but I don't. I have those on my PlayStation though, so I didn't do that in this particular time on my Xbox. I would wait until for those games to come to Game Pass for me to put them on my Xbox because I purchased those for PlayStation,
Gotcha.
and that's the first game was Call of Duty 7.
Okay. So keeping it right here with Call of Duty, like that was your first foray. What did you think though? Cuz like how did it run? How did it play? How did it feel on the Xbox Ally X? Like was this a game you tried on your Xbox Series X and then also tried on your Ally was your Ally the first experience with Call of Duty Black Ops 7?
It wasn't my first experience, and just to piggyback off the video that just ended, we were just watching a video just now of Hollow Knight, and it looked like it was Silk Song that was being played. Silk Song was the first game I played on the Rogue Ally, where I was like, "This is just gonna be incredible." The sound, the way it plays, I was like, "This is an incredible experience." And I would say the Silk Song was one of the first of those. Silk Song and Where the Wind
Gotcha.
Meets were the first experiences of that because I'm not really a Steam gamer. So kind of getting into that Steam ecosystem is also great. It's great for a lot of reasons. Like I'm finding it to be an amazing purchase for me for a lot of reasons. Whereas I liked having Call of Duty on there, it was kind of more so like a rite of passage than like being I really want to play Call of Duty on here, if that
That
makes
makes
sense.
sense.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It was just a thing of like I know I'm going to need it on here. So I'm just gonna put it on here. But it wasn't necessarily what I was playing at the time. My girl, she's what much more. My girl loves playing. I think she's playing Call of Duty. Maybe no, she's not playing Call of Duty at the second. But she's much more of a Call of Duty Halo gamer. She only plays Call of Duty and Halo, and then we'll play two player
That's
games every now and then.
that's interesting. So to stay on Call of Duty for a second, like I'm not a Call of Duty like buff. I jump in every year to kind of play the campaign. I like the campaign is it for me,
hmm
and then I'm out. Like I don't play
Yeah, I can
very
see
much of
that
the
because that's
multiplayer.
where I was for a while, and
Yeah.
I have both installed too as well for that same reason.
So I didn't like the campaign this year, man. I did not like it. It felt, like that. It felt childish to me in a way, and it also felt like it kind of lost the soul of what Call of Duty is. It kind of felt like I don't. It's a weird thing because like it felt like if they leaned so hard into like the hallucinations and what's real and what isn't real that it sort of lost the sauce of like what Call of Duty kind of historically has meant, like the battle of like the wheel of mankind or the evil of mankind in this warlike setting, and then like and I still kind of miss when it was more grounded and not necessarily like there's fictional zombies now. There's also like mist, there's hallucinations, there's this evil antagonist that apparently has spanned across several Call of Duties that has infected like the main character and he can't just get away from it. It's like I miss simplicity, I guess. I miss like I want I wanted Call of Duties, especially like last year, it felt more like a spy thriller, and I was perfectly fine with that. I felt like that still felt Call of Duty ish to me. It felt like I was playing like a Hollywood blockbuster, and I love that type of thing. This year, it felt like I was playing. You remember back in the day, there was that movie Shutter Island.
I don't remember
It-
it.
okay, so long story short, it felt like I was playing like a Alice in Wonderland. What is real and what isn't real version of Call of Duty, but yeah, and I'm like, I
I
don't
mean,
like that.
leaning
I
into
want
that hallucination is tricky, right? Like, I feel like you only get so many bites at the apple with that. Like, once you, at least for me as a viewer, when I'm watching any kind of medium, whether it's TV or playing games, and they do that, it feels like a betrayal of trust after the third or fourth time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, the rug pull under the rug pull, which is under the rug pull, which is under the rug pull. But is this the
Yeah, for
ultimate
sure.
rug pull? Is this whole thing a rug pull? You know what I mean? Like, so at that point, I'm kind of usually on stuff like that. I'm kind of out, and I like the campaigns in these games, Sebastian. A lot of times I'll play them. I have them, but they are so much just there. You best
Oh,
believe
yeah.
when space was needed, what I went in to get, what I went in for. I went in to trim that. I trimmed that Call of Duty, man, like a turkey, man. I went in and took that save file down, man. So it's always on the chopping block. But I feel like I'll always have some iteration, at least I'm probably the multiplayer round or something, you know?
I played this campaign, and it was the first time in a while that I felt like I was gonna give something like a 4 out of 10. You know, like, the gameplay
Goodness
the
gracious.
gameplay is solid. The gameplay still feels like Call of Duty. And the campaign, though, is like the story is so far removed from what do you see, like, the clips of this? Like, it looks
Yeah,
Fortnite-ish
man.
in a way. Like,
But yet, do you feel like they're trying to? So that's part of the problem here. Okay. So part of the problem here is too many. I think these companies trying to capture too much market share in a lot of different areas. You know what I mean? Like you see different things that you like in different franchises, and you're like, hey man, let's throw a little bit of this in there and see. You know, and then it ends up becoming just something that doesn't really satisfy anybody now.
yeah,
Not even your
that's exactly
core
right.
fan base. You know.
Yeah, I think, like, that's one of the things I liked about Battlefield this year. It like Battlefield had a vision and stuck to it. They were like, "We know who we are. We're going back to old school Battlefield, and we're just like what you loved about it growing up. We're going right back into that, and we're going to nail all the finer details of that, and we're not going to be anything more than that." And
Sometimes
I
it's what you
call,
need, man.
yeah, for sure. I'd rather play a game that has an identity than rather like be a jack of trades and master of none. You know, and
Correct.
I'd rather have that, but, like, Call of Duty felt like it was trying to be the campaign specifically is like, it's futuristic Black Ops, it's zombies, it's hallucinations, it's a platformer as well in a lot of spots, and it's also like a wave like, just fighting wave after wave, PvP PvPvE, like, game as well, and I'm like, it is absolutely, like, it's absolutely crazy. Yeah, it's like it mixes all the acronyms and it mixes all of them. And I know that's not actually correct, but like it feels that way.
Yo,
You know,
that's
like
funny. Yeah, that's
it feels
hilarious.
that way. So I'm like, nah, it's this to me was the biggest miss of Call of Duty. But you also played Hollow Knight Silk Song on it on the RG LAX.
Looks
What did you think of
amazing,
Silk Song?
man. That was the first thing that's the first thing that I played on there where I was like, it's two games that I started on there where I'm like, man, this is just really looks and plays really well and amazing and sounds amazing. The sound is I cannot stretch this enough. The sound is amazing on there for a handheld. It's amazing sound quality. My girl clowns me because she thinks like for $1,000 it should be. She was like, "You spend $1,000 on that thing." Like, so of course the sound quality should be amazing, but it's not. I mean, it just is. It's when you're gaming and you're looking for anything that immerses you more. Sound quality is important. You know what I mean? But
It
Silk
also
Song
helps
just
that
looks
Hollow Knight,
so
yeah.
beautiful, man.
It also helps that Hollow Knight feels like it's like cinema in a way. Like it feels like
Yes,
like a Studio
absolutely,
Ghibli type of
absolutely.
game in a way. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the presentation of Hollow Knight is my favorite part of the game. Like I'm not really like a super hard Souls guy either, so I'm like a Souls like Metrovania is never going to be
And
my
it's hard,
my
man.
initial.
Goodness
Yeah.
gracious, it is difficult. I put that thing down, man. I don't know when I'm getting back to it, but
No,
it's
it
definitely
made you tap out.
it is difficult. Well, it's not necessarily that. It's just I'm putting other things. I start playing. So it was two games, but Hollow Knight was definitely the first one, the first of these
Okay.
two. But I think I started playing these two because I've only had the console. I don't even know if I've had that thing. Maybe I'm getting to a full 7 days now. This is the
Mhm.
seventh day I possessed it, and I've been able to actually because due to work and other obligations, I've only been able to kind of like really dive into it maybe 2 to 3 of the 7.
Yeah, for sure.
So you got, I mean, I'm only about 3-ish days in. I just bought a dock to hook it up to my TV,
Oh,
and I
that's gonna
bought
be
the dock to hook it
incredible.
up to my TV though for this other game, Where the Wind Meets. Now, Where the Wind Meets is a For people who aren't familiar, is a Steam game, which is kind of like it seems like it's a Ghost, I would say Ghost of Yotai type bite, like that feudal Japan bite. You know what I mean? I can't even say it's a bite
Mhm.
because all these feudal Japan games all kind of have like a vibe to them. You know, where it's Rise of the Ronin, whether
They're
it's
starting to run
Ghost of
together a bit. Yeah.
the Ghost games. You know what I mean? These feudal Japan games, Assassin's Creed Shadows, like they are all like they have a vibe, and Where the Wind Meets is definitely in the vibe of the vibe. It's in there, but I definitely like the game, so I'm playing the game on the handheld. I'm like, this is absolutely incredible. Like, this is absolutely incredible. Like, as I'm playing it, I just thought it was amazing. I just thought it was amazing, man. You know, it was a sizable download. So I ended up getting, what did I get out of here? Some of that. Remember, I told you I went in and had to trim that Call of Duty.
Yeah, for sure.
I went in very quickly and got Black Ops 6 campaign. And I kept the campaign. I got the multiplayer out of here. It's like I went
Okay.
in there and and deleted the multiplayer for the Black Ops 6 so that this game can be installed. Installed it, had about a couple days, started playing it, really liked it on um the handheld. Now, the issue that I would have with a game like this, typically for a gamer like me, is that I just ran through Ghost of Yotai. And I
Yeah,
just
it
ran
is
through it.
similar.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like literally it was the last game that I just played. So you're getting a lot more of the same here. But it's still just an incredible game, man. Like it's not the same. Like it for anybody who's played Ghost of Yotai, you're thinking like, hey, maybe there's some similarities here, and there are. You'd be forgiven for that, but it's a different game though. It's not the same game. It seems like one of those like kind of always online games too. I don't know if it's like
It
multiplayer
is.
in that sense. I think maybe it is. Okay, yeah, because it definitely seems like it's got those vibes. But it does a good job of, and I think I said this about Genshin Impact way back in the day when it first came out, and I was like, yeah, that game's gonna be pretty big. When I very
Mhm.
first started playing the games, like this game's gonna be pretty big because it's a multiplayer game, but it serves a single player well. Like you could just really just run around and just do stuff. You don't necessarily have to interact for the game to be fun. And I feel like the best multiplayer games do a good job of that, of inviting. If you decide you want to go down that road, you can. But I think the best multiplayer games mimic single player games in kind of taking your single player journey. If you decide to take a journey by yourself, you don't want to kind of group up with people or have to only be able to play certain quests because you need 3 or 4 other players to play. I think the best games do a good job of mimicking a great single player experience when you want to play by yourself, and this game has done so far. And it kind of surprised me, man. It was just how nice it looks on the handheld.
So for people who don't know about like where winds meet, because I downloaded this on PS5, I haven't touched it yet. It's like winds meet
I
is
didn't even know
a
this existed on PS5. I didn't even know
yeah
that
that
was on there. Is it on there?
yeah it's on there. It's a free to play game that's on PC, PS5, and I think it's also Xbox now. But
Man, I
where
might
winds
go
meet,
ahead and download it, man.
yeah, it is like it's a free to play open world. What is it? Wuxia action adventure RPG.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is set in ancient China. It features kind of like deep martial arts, extensive customizations. I know that character customizer is what a lot of people, especially Black people, have been raving about. It's like how deep and
It's
detailed.
significant, man. Okay, you got SpongeBob on there, man. You can do a lot of things with that editor, man. I got my
That's
character is Keanu Reeves. I got
oh,
Keanu
that's
Reeves.
cool.
I'm playing as Keanu Reeves, like samurai type character.
hmm
So I'm playing as Keanu Reeves right now.
That's cool. So I'm like, it's both multiplayer and an online single player mode. Like you can be a swordsman. You can they have a whole bunch of mini games that you can approach and play. You can kind of like be proficient in swords, spears, fans, and mystic arts. And it launched back in November 14th of 2025. And yeah, right now it is
Man, not about roughly a month ago, right?
yeah, for sure, roughly a month ago. And then there was it launched on PS5 and PC, and it has cross play and cross progression. So I'm like, you can play on either one. So I'm like, if you are feeling like you want to play on your RG Ally, you can play that, and then go sign into your account and play right on your PS5 as well.
That's probably what I'm going to do, man. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I'm going to do that because then I can just play on my PS5, and the fact that it would just carry over to my ally would be
yeah,
just so
that's gonna be a
amazing,
golden.
right? And it
So
is. So I will be doing that once again. These conversations that we have, man. I remember the very first conversation I had on the show. And
Uh-huh.
this is why I continue to talk to you, Sebastian. This is 100% why. You know what I mean? You owe our entire amounts of all the thousands of conversations we've had over the
Yeah, for
years
sure.
to this one thing.
Mission complete.
We're talking on the show, and you said, "Hey, man, if you like turn-based RPG, you should check out this Yakuza game." And I said, "You
Yeah.
know, man, I was like, man, I get the recommendations all the time, man. Whatever, I'm gonna check it out though." Man, about roughly 25, 30 minutes into that thing, sending you the appreciation text messages. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. Yes, bro. Yes, man. You know what I mean? These conversations are always bear fruit, man. I will be downloading that on my PS5. And now I kind of feel like my dock was useless now. Like I bought the dock for that. And now it's kind of like, what's the point of a dock? But now, though, I will tell you,
Mhm.
it is still nice because I'm getting a 360 situation because what I did notice is, and I paid more for my dock. My dock I bought was like $35.
Well, you got the fancy dock.
It was a $35 dock, but no, I paid $60 for it. I got the upgraded one. It was still 15% off. It would have been more money. But I paid $60 for it because I got the international plug adapters for it.
Okay.
So so now that might be what puts the dock really in there. So if I'm able to travel with it, okay, Sebastian, let's say I'm able to travel with it, okay, I can go to Europe, go to these places and
Yeah, for
plug it
sure.
into their TVs there, man. And I'm bringing a console with me, right? So all I gotta do is bring my PlayStation controller because I use a PlayStation controller with it. I already got it linked up. So bring my PlayStation controller, bring my Rogue Ally, which I'm bringing anyway.
Yeah.
Okay,
And you're good to
have
go.
my dock, and then I have adapters for I think it's for a couple different like Europe and Asia adapters. You know what I mean? So that's why it was like $25 more because of the adapters. But I think I'm going to get pretty good use out of that, to
I
be
think
honest with
so.
you.
I think so. So correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I'm gonna ask you this question: is this your first big foray into PC gaming with your ROG Ally?
Yeah, I would say I can't say first though, man. I beat Far Cry on the PC back in the day. Well, back in the day, I was making on that same PC that I beat Far Cry, I had Madden on there, and the same PC I beat Far Cry, I was building a Mugen machine, and I had all kinds of stuff. I kept throwing characters in, man. I had a ton of characters, I have a ton of different Mugens I was building on there and stuff like that. So I would say more so that was my first foray, and also being a computer nerd, it's always there.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean? Because I'm an old computer nerd. You know what I mean? Going through the 90s, it's always there. You know what I mean? You've always had your
You
toes
always
somewhere.
had those.
Yeah, you kind of had it a little bit if you were really into gaming. Like I feel like if you're a super nerd, a tech nerd, and a gaming nerd, it's just even if you're not a PC gamer, which I am not by any stretch of the imagination, it's hard to ignore it. You see
I
what I'm
think you're
saying?
about
It's
to
hard
be.
to
I think
like
you're about to be.
it's hard to ignore that
Mhm.
environment. So now, and you're right. Even now, I've been more into the PC gaming market
Yeah.
because I was playing where it went to me on Steam
Mhm.
via Steam. I didn't download that on an Xbox or anything. I went to the Steam store and downloaded it via Steam. So I'm definitely back into my Steam account. I'm gonna play my Schedule One, get my Schedule One on there, and I'm definitely getting my toe back into that Steam ecosystem. But I just like having all of these available. To be honest with you.
I understand. I like that as well. Like, the versatility is something that I'm really valuing more as like I get older in gaming. It's one of those things to where like you went on the Windows side because you're with the ROG, and I went Steam Deck side, and Steam Deck has got me more into like Steam OS and Linux. But it's like one of the things I'm valuing more is like the flexibility of I play on PlayStation, I play on Xbox, and I play on PC. Those are my big three right now.
100%.
And I like the aspect and the flexibility of like, oh, in PC games, I have almost like certain genres that I lean more so PC heavy to nowadays, to where I'm like, my indie games and me and you are both big on turn based, and we're big on like, if I remember correctly, you are also big on city builders and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, we're playing the same games and
yeah,
looking forward to those. Which
City
was the game that was
Skylines as
coming out?
well.
Skitty Skylines. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm like, we're both big into those, and I like playing those a lot more on PC than I like playing those on console. Like, especially now that I'm with the Steam Deck, it got me bigger into mods as well. Like,
Yes, yes, the mod environment that you have no access to. in the console
Yeah.
market.
Nah, and then so I'm like, the games that I felt like, oh, are that's just a okay video game, or I'm enjoying it, but I'm not really loving it, have been like revolutionized because of mods now. I'm like playing a sports game feels like such like a different experience with mods now. Playing games like I play WWE like almost every other year. That feels different with mods. Being able to input older wrestlers, custom music, and everything into the entrances feels like a breath of fresh air with mods. Mods got me to like
Yeah,
Starfield, which
100%.
I didn't think were possible. You know, like
Man, I might have to get back into Starfield, man. Starfield's going back on. So Starfield, I'm going back into because I never played Shattered Space.
mhm.
So I'm going back into Starfield eventually. And that's the game I'm pretty excited to put on there as well. And I want to touch on something that you said recently or just a second ago, is a Windows 11 environment. Now, for a person like me, for a lot of people, the Xbox full screen, it is as advertised. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Is as advertised. So a lot of reviewers are singing the full screen praises, and I think that's coming to a lot of devices coming into to 26.
Mhm.
A lot of people, reviewers were singing the full screen praises, how it optimized their games from a performance standpoint, and they were really seeing performance difference with it and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna sing those praises as well. It's nice. The full screen is kind of it's what it takes gamers like me. Okay, I need to get in there and be able to pick up something, and you make this for idiots like me who don't want to do any cognitive thinking here. We want to just pick it up, and it needs to work. And I need to know how optimized is it. Optimized? How optimized is it? You see what I'm saying? So a situation like that, is it optimized game I can play, and what do I need to? And with the full screen experience, with what they've done with this device is they've done that process down to where you already have a controller there. You don't really do anything. You don't have to do anything. You literally just play the game the same way that you would play it, even though it is a PC version of the games. You're playing the game the same way that you would on your Xbox. And so that making it the functionality, the interface, and stuff like that is kind of a game changer
So
for the game, and that's kind of what I needed.
so with like one of the things I'm seeing with the interface, like the big Xbox mode, it just reminds me of Xbox. Like it just reminds me of playing my Xbox Series S and X. Does it feel the same to you? Like, or is
Yeah,
there noticeable
absolutely. But
differences there?
what makes it difference, and this is a pretty big difference, especially is like when
Okay,
you're looking
gotcha.
at the games here. So when you see how the games, if you keep the freeze, if the games are froze, the still that you have it frozen on right now is a good one
Yeah,
for
okay,
that example.
gotcha.
That's still right there. If you keep it, you see how the games are showing there. Okay, so when you are in a Game Pass environment, your games are going to be showing there, and they're going to be Game Pass games, your game library. Okay,
Okay, gotcha.
in this Rogue environment, it's showing there, but it's showing from all whatever your libraries are. So if you don't have a
Gotcha.
Steam, you have a Steam game, it's going to show there like a Game Pass game. You see what I'm saying? So it's still
No, I
showing in the
gotcha.
same environment, except that so my games here would show my Call of Duty, which I downloaded, you know what I mean? And it's gonna also show though the Steam games I've downloaded, where the wins me, it all shows in the same place.
That makes
So I think
sense.
that makes it easy. And also for a lot of people, what ended up making it great for me is the other side of this, which is the nerd side. And this is side where it might be a turn off to some people. And the nerd side for me was the Windows 11, it actually being a Windows 11 laptop, basically what it is. What you're
Yeah, for
holding in
sure.
your hands is a laptop with a controller.
So this is my Xbox app right now. Do you feel like it's more comparable where you have like it shows
It's
like a game
exactly
right
the
here?
same, bro.
It's
It's
exactly the
exactly
same
the
as the
same.
Xbox app. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, it looks exactly I mean, this is almost like exactly, this is what it is, bro.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. So I'm like,
So
I'm
and when
semi
it boots up, and you don't have the option, you can boot directly up into Steam if you want to.
uh-huh.
If you want to just boom right up into Steam, you could. And also, it's a switcher. So when you go up there to switch, it switches when you hit your button, like the Xbox button on the side of the Rogue Ally. When you
Mhm.
hit the button, it offers the Steam, I think Ubisoft. There's other streaming there, but the only one I'm really interested in is Steam. But there is another one or two there. But you can just go in between different interfaces, or just boot up directly into Windows, which I have for other things. If you want to do like emudex and stuff like that, you want to put emulators and stuff like that on there,
Yeah,
then
for sure.
you go through like the actual Windows 11 environment. Now, me personally, from traveling, Sebastian, I'm thinking about getting a wireless mouse and keyboard for it, because
Oh yeah, you're
now
deep in the
let's
weeds
think
now.
about this. Let's think about this. Right. I just bought a new laptop. I didn't just buy it. Now for a nerd like me, I'm
It's
ecstatic
everything.
about this.
Yeah.
I am absolutely ecstatic about this for a nerd like myself. For a person who just wants pure video game experience, that's what the Xbox full screen was for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they probably hated this. They hated having to go do this. Like you don't want to. You buy your Rogue, you're going through Windows 11, and you're like, what am I doing? But you're talking to a person like me who is still working in a desktop environment, other aspects of his life, whether it's a Mac environment or whether it's a Windows environment. I'm ecstatic because to me now I got 2 for 1.
Yeah,
You
for
see what
sure.
I'm saying? Now I never need to take a laptop anywhere. I can use it. It's the same hard drive. I got a terabyte on drive. I got a terabyte SD card in it. So now it's got 2 terabytes on it.
Yeah. That's all you need
This
at
is
that
great
point. Yeah.
for me. Right. This is great. I can stream Netflix. I can do it, it's a laptop. So it's gonna do everything a laptop can do. It's gonna do on there. And the laptops can do a lot of things. So it's like if you want to watch your Netflix, your YouTube, you can do whatever you want to spot it. It's like a regular laptop. So you have your gaming aspect of it. But I also get another device that when docked, you can just use it as anything.
I like that because I'm like coming from a Steam Deck side of the fence. It's very similar, except like you have like native Windows apps and such like that. Me, I'm going through Linux and everything like that, especially Steam, Steam's version of Linux. And I think like it's really cool how versatile both devices are in the fact that they are basically PCs, and then you can utilize
Yes.
them like a PC. It's
Yes,
like
man.
especially the
Absolute game
emulation,
changing,
like
my
the
friend.
emulation has been incredible.
Yes.
And
Emulation's incredible.
I'm not a person. I'm like, yeah, I'm like you. I don't usually go back to memory lane and go back and play my old
Not at
games or
all.
anything like that. But a part of me, the pack rat side of me, love having those on the memory
The
card.
access, right?
Yeah,
I have 20,
yeah,
let me just carry my 20,000 games everywhere I go. You know
for
what I mean?
sure, absolutely for sure. I know damn well I'm not playing those. Like
None of them.
none of them, absolutely none of
Those
them.
games.
I just want them there. It just feels right.
Man,
It feels like
it
it
feels
feels like a
good, man.
blanket. Yeah.
Right? It's like the blanket. It's the blanket. I just use the exact same example. It's the blanket, bro. The blanket of having Mario, the first Mario there, knowing
Yeah.
I'm never touching it in my life, but I need
So
it with me.
so let me
Yes.
ask you, so now that you're jumping back into PC as opposed to like you've been in PC hibernation, like have you linked this to like not just your Steam account but like an Epic account as well already?
No, man, I haven't really dumped it into the Epic Gaming. I think they might be one that's on there as well. I gotta look at that and see
All
if
right, let
that's
me
one of
put
the
you on.
environments.
Let me do the Yakuza like a dragon thing like I did last time. Sign up for
Okay.
Epic account and then every week they give you a free game. Like every week. Not every week of the year, they'll give you a free game. Like last week, it was Hogwarts Legacy. They gave out for free, just for free if you hadn't
Okay,
played it.
so in this episode, it's just signing up for Epic Games. That's it.
It's just signing up for Epic. So just sign up for Epic Games and then like so it's storeepicgames.com, right? So
Okay.
I got it right on
Okay,
my
here we
screen.
go.
I got it bookmarked. I'll walk you through it real quick. But and the reason why I wanted to show you this primarily is because like I know you're jumping back into PC gaming, and I know you already know about Steam because everybody and their mom knows about Steam. But I feel like not everyone knows about Epic. So like Epic also sells a lot of the same games they do on Steam. You can see right here Battlefield 6, EA Sports, Borderlands 4, Arc Raiders, Ready or Not, like a lot of those
Yeah, I
games.
see
But
that. What
like,
is that? That FIFA was going for $27, $28.
yeah,
Nice.
for sure on Epic. So I'm
Okay.
like, it is so it is the same thing as Steam. It's just that you'll download it and it's the Epic launcher instead of the Steam launcher. It's almost the very similar thing. The only difference is like if you go down on the Epic Game Store, you'll look and there's a category they always have called free games. And the what's going on right now is like they're doing their Days of Christmas special. So I'm like,
Okay.
right. And so every day right now, they're giving out a free game. Some of them are indie games, some of them are big AAA games. So like
Okay.
right now, today's game is called Sorry We're Closed.
I will be there and I will be getting that game.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's a
So I
free
am
game.
literally signing up as we are speaking right now. Like I am signing up.
Like, so for sure, like, and then you can go right here and you see like you can go click on the free game part, and then they have the mystery game unlocks in about what they say 19 hours, 27 minutes, and 28 seconds for tomorrow's game because they're doing their Days of Christmas celebration. So I'm like, they're giving out a different game every single day in this holiday season. But on the regular, they normally do a week where they'll give out a different game, and they're always in
I
different
mean, a week is
genres.
still pretty good, right? A week gets you
Yeah,
like 4 games a month, right?
yeah, and you never have to pay for any of it. Is what's so baller. Like it's like like on the Xbox side and PlayStation side, you have to sign up for Game Pass or PS Plus, and then that accesses you
Right.
to like the games of the month. And this one, you just sign up for Epic and you get the games of the month. So
Go ahead and link these.
you link your
Link
account,
both.
sign up, and I'm
Link
like,
them.
you're at least guaranteed those games. And just to show you like some like there is some really good titles that they do give away. It's not just like some games you've never heard of, even though some of those are like nice little gems that you probably could experience and like really get into.
There we go. It's happening, man.
Got it.
It's
Got him.
happening. So I'm
So
already in, and I'm linking. So now I'm just linking. So I just signed up,
yeah.
and it looks like I have already linked. Let's see. Okay. We should be good. All right. My PlayStation just linked. So I'm in there. All right.
Yeah,
Boom.
you're
There we
in.
go. There we
All
go.
right. So
Just that. I 100% trust here, man. I get all it took for you just said it. And now a couple seconds, due to modern technology, here I am, a
yeah,
member, and I will
that's
be
it.
getting my games. Yeah, that's it.
And
I'm
then
going to now try to put it on my ally
yeah,
and
and
see if I
that's it.
can get it on
Just
there. You know what I mean?
sign up your ally, your Epic to your ally, and it should be another store that signs up for that account. That's for sure where
Right.
wins meet. By the way,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's for sure where wins meet. I know that boy wasn't lying about playing that game.
Yeah, this is okay, Armory Crate. So it looks like when you go to Armory Crate, I see at the bottom Ubisoft.
that that's Ubisoft Connect usually. Look
Yeah,
and see if
I'm
they
not
have
getting
Epic on there.
I don't see Epic as one. I see Steam. So of course Steam and Xbox, which are your top two here, right? At the
Yeah,
bottom.
for sure.
But I don't
It's a
see.
Windows app, so all you have to do is download Epic as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm probably gonna do.
And then
Download it.
because I'm like I know I have a friend who also has the OG ROG Ally, not the Xbox, and he was able to install Epic on his as well. They Epic is a good one, and then I got another one to put you on game with
Is it like an
afterwards.
Epic Game app? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it should be Epic Game app or Epic Game Store. So either one of those I think usually work. But like if you go, it still has the Windows button on there, right?
Yeah, it says download to install on Windows. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Got you
So
right
I'm
here,
like,
there, buddy. Yeah. So that's a thing too for a person like me.
mhm,
What makes it super amazing is I love this. Like I love the
yeah.
Windows. I love moving around in these
Mhm.
environments, messing with these new operating systems and stuff like that. And that was such a significant added bonus that if I had known that before, I probably would have just kept my pre-order because even though I did have a pre-order and I had it in my car, I never pulled the trigger back then. I took it out and end up waiting and pulling the trigger after I came back from Egypt. Because if I had pulled the trigger when I initially wanted to, I probably would have had it for Egypt, to be honest with you, like right around the time, right around there. But because it took Egypt kind of convincing me,
Mhm.
but if I had known about the Windows 11 parts being so, and they're like me being able to just bounce over and being so comfortable in that environment, getting anything I need in that environment, it's changed. I mean, changed the nature of this device for me
It's a
here. So it
game
actually makes
changer.
everything easier. It is because I can literally just do whatever I want in this environment. It's very easy.
Yeah, I get that. I really do. It's like it makes everything so simple. And then there's a lot that you can do with this too. Like because Epic also allows you to download your games natively as well, just like Steam does. So all the games that you
You
get
can
on Epic,
just directly to your hard drive, then basically, right? You're
yeah,
just going directly
directly to
directly
your
to your hard
hard
drive.
drive or your SD drive at that point. So I'm like, whichever one you're going with right now, you can just download that directly into it, and then like it's there basically. And so I'm like, that's one of the things to where like even though you're on PC, like you're on PC right now, you don't necessarily have to stick with just Steam and with Xbox. You have I think one of the shining beacons of light of going into that like PC ecosystem is there's so many stores and there's so many
The
things you can get
freedom,
from that.
brother,
Yeah.
right? The freedom, the apps, and that's something that I'm getting a sense of is one device. And this device, what's so clutch about it is I don't have to buy each one of these things individually and then get a controller for it, each one of them individually. You know, it's already locked in. Everything's already done for you. It's streamlining your gaming across the board here. So it just makes everything a lot easier. And all those stores providing different access, man, definitely great.
Yeah, that's incredible. And then like so on the Epic side of the fence, there's a lot of cool things they have is not just the sign in parts, is you can link your accounts to the PlayStations and all that kind of stuff to your PlayStation, your Xbox, and that'll allow you to stay signed in and such. But then it's also like their like library of games and the way they give out like free games really surprised me because like on the I was getting indie game after indie game, and then like all of a sudden, just randomly on a Tuesday, it'll be like, "Here's Death Stranding," and I'm like, "Oh snap, Death Stranding!" Is like I own that game on PC now, and I'm like, I never even, like I had tried that game out on Xbox, and then it never really, or on PlayStation, and it never clicked with me. But on PC, I'm thinking to myself like, I have that on portable now. I might actually give that a try again. You know?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have, and it's downloading that update here now on my side. But it's definitely a nice added bonus, man. I'm telling you, at least for a person like me, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
And these are some of like all these games right here. I don't remember ever buying a game on Epic. All these have been free so far. So I'm like, you see something
That's
like
a
Plague
decent
Tale.
library you got building there, right?
Yeah, and it's a library that I didn't have to contribute to, like I didn't have to work or do anything to.
Are
And so
these
I'm
all
like
installed, or are these kind of like you can install them, or you just can do it to add to library like they do? You know how they do on what you call it on PlayStation, where you can just add to library
yeah,
without actually downloading it.
so all these are not installed. I can just click the install button and just go from there. And the
Oh, okay.
cool
Oh, it's so installed. I didn't even see the install button under there. Okay, it's
yeah,
underneath each
so
of the title. But look at that though, man. That's a significant library though.
all the Batman games are here. Like all the all the Arkham games are here, and those were free. That one, Blair Witch was free. They threw to us the Borderlands games. Rotato, I think, is one of the most underrated indie games I've ever played. The Castlevania collection, and so this is Celeste is another good one. Control, City Skylines. I didn't like Crime Boss Arcade City, but it was there. The old the old school Darksiders games. They gave the Death Stranding and the Death Stranding Collector's Edition were both free. Death's Door, very underrated indie game. Deathloop was another one that was a free weekly type of joint. Dragon Age Inquisition. I love Dragon Age Inquisition. That's probably one of my favorite games of the 2010s. But then, so I'm like, you kind of get the general gist though. So I'm like, all these were free
Absolutely.
weekly games. Then I've just been collecting them over time. And I'm like, over time, it's just building my PC library. Again, am I going to touch all these games? Probably not, but it's there.
You know what I like too about the Rogue Ally is the touch screen. I can't say this enough
Mhm.
about just being able to just do the touch screen on there and just move. It's a small thing. Small,
But
it's
it
not gonna
adds
change your
up.
life.
Adds
But
up.
man, I'm telling you, I'm not having to actually go through with your controller and be like,
Let me type all
that
this
makes
in.
it
Yeah.
makes a difference. Yes.
So yeah,
Yes. So
that
now I'm gonna go to the Epic Game Store and
and
it's all coming
then
together over here.
I'm telling you, man, it's like that. And then do you have Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Okay,
And I
so
don't really ever
Amazon
do
Prime.
my Prime games, man, but now that I'm in this ecosystem, it's
Yes.
definitely much more attractive. I was gonna say, like, I have a lot of games that will just get, but being in a PC ecosystem, okay,
Yeah.
was definitely gonna turn me into a game hoarder. because then at any point I could just download this on my device and just play it. It's gonna turn you into like a game hoarder because it's like
It is.
you at this point, and everything looks better shrunk down to that screen size. Like, so when you
Yeah.
shrink it down to that screen size, you get that 120 hertz. Because what are you getting on this? You get that 120 hertz.
Yeah.
Man, it's nice.
It looks buttery. It looks
It looks a
buttery
lot better.
smooth. Yeah.
It looks a lot better.
So I'm like, go get your PC games every month because
Yes, man.
Prime gives you the PC games every month. You're probably going to need to download GOG, and go download their games, and then download their game store, and from there they give you a lot of PC games as well. Like between Prime and Epic Games, you're going to build like a catalog of probably like 60 games in like 3 months, 3 or 4 months.
Between Prime and between Prime and Epic Games,
Epic
but
Games.
just
Yeah,
those
okay.
two.
Just those two, because like I kid you not, let me see. On Prime, they'll give, I think they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It looks like they have 14 games so far this month that they're throwing out of free
14.
games. Yeah.
That's great.
Of like 14
Just this
free
month.
games.
So
Yeah,
that's
so I'm
that's
like,
with my Prime. So now I got to go to my
yeah, so I'm like, you got,
get
let
that
me,
together. I'm signing up
let
for
me
all
look.
kinds. I'm signing up for all kinds of stuff right now. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, it's gonna change
doing
your life.
verification codes, man. I got all kinds of stuff because I am not playing. I paid a lot of money for this. I'm thinking I need to
Might as well
start
use it,
stocking
fam.
up the games, brother.
Might as well use it. And then like, so Bo Path of the Teal Lotus is like a indie game that's very similar to, it's like a kung fu version of kind of Hollow Knight-ish. It's a really cool game to just,
That's pretty
even if you don't
interesting.
play through it all the way, it's a Metrovania that looks great, it plays great, and it kind of like it's a good showpiece game to where I want to play this on a small like handheld console. And I'm like, that was one of those games that I'm like, okay, I think that's a sleeper there, and it just looks and feels beautiful to play. And that is a free game that they have currently on, I think, through Amazon in December as well. So I'm like, then they have, I think, the Fallout collection, I think, is also available this month. So
Now I'm
even if you,
wondering. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Can I? Should I install these games? Okay, so I'm gonna choose a folder
okay,
to install these games on my SD card.
I would advise the SD card, by the way.
You say you would?
I would. I mean, for games that you would probably, I think use your SD card more than your hard drive, and unless you want like to the games you know that you're going to play like a lot, maybe the hard drive, because instantaneous access to things natively on your hard drive, always good to have. If it's like
For
a
sure.
game that I might play once every like blue moon, or maybe I might check this out, just go ahead and throw that on the SD card. Because I'm like, your rewrite speeds are probably not going to be affected that much to where you care about it, but your rewrite speeds on that native SSD is probably going to be a little better. So
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. All right, so Ubisoft Connect is on here. That's what just started.
okay, Ubisoft Connect's not bad,
Because I'm looking,
but
I got a lot of stuff on here, but I don't really Ubisoft Connect. That's what so when you're looking at the buttons on your Rogue Ally, the
yeah,
Ubisoft
gotcha.
Connect but is one of the things that's like on there with Steam, with Xbox Game Pass,
As soon as you jump in
and
there,
yeah, it's like
gotcha.
one that of the shortcuts you can take there. I'm going to choose my install for this to go to the SD card for this. All right, man. It's all happening, brother.
So from what you described, like it's like walking like through this with you is like it's similar. It's similar but different from the Steam Deck, but like from the big picture mode on Steam Deck is like the exact same
Mhm.
thing. So what
Yeah,
you're
for sure.
describing, I'm like, oh, okay, I get that.
That's pretty much
Like,
what it is. But and imagine that for like an Xbox environment and Xbox environment, right? Pretty much big
yeah, for
picture mode.
sure. So like for me, this is like the home screen for the Steam Deck. It is very
And that's
similar
still
to,
that exact same home screen that I have for. So if I was to go to the Switch interface, Sebastian,
mhm,
exact same screen.
yeah, yeah,
It's the
exactly.
exact same. It's the exact same one.
Exactly, exactly. What I'm interested in is like one of the cool aspects that I really want Xbox to kind of nail is like freedom of customization because like one of the cool things that I think like they did throughout the 360 era was like they added like some skins and like some themes that you can put on your Xbox 360. And on the Steam
Mhm.
Deck, one of the cool like my favorite aspect outside of like gaming on the Steam Deck is being able to customize my home screen. So like if I wanted my home
Okay.
screen to look like the old school PS4 home screen,
Mhm.
like I can go in there, I can choose themes and people have retrofitted themes that you can choose. So I'm like if you're a Switch person, you can choose like the Switch ecosystem theme or you can choose the PlayStation, Xbox and so on and so forth. I want to see Xbox do that and give you that customization. And I'm not sure cuz
So
Windows
on your
normally
Xbox home screens, what is your backdrop on your Xbox now? So on your Xbox that you have, what's your backdrop on your home screen? How do you have it customized?
it's the okay, so okay, on the Xbox that I have now, it's the regular tiles that say like what you've recently been playing, just like if you were to go into Netflix where you see like what you've been watching or continue watching part, and then it goes down into quick resume is right underneath that, and it shows like the up to 5 games that you can bounce between quick resume that, and then underneath that there's the tiles that are new to Game Pass slash the store. So those are my like
Okay.
when I
Okay.
log
So
into
you're
my Xbox, that's one
customizing
of them.
backdrop and wallpaper. You have your wallpaper customized, but you're talking about the interface, or do you have your wallpaper not customized either?
I don't have
Do
my
you
wallpaper
customize your
not
wallpaper?
customized at all. Like it's just the whatever color it is. It's like the that part. I have the towels customized to where like the towels will be like these towels on top of these towels. I have that. But what I'm talking about like is that I like about like on the Steam OS is like I can change it's not just reorganizing tiles, it is completely changing the theme of everything. So I'm like, if I want it to where like instead it'll be Steam OS big mode, but it has the PlayStation style to where like on the PS5, you know, you log into the PS5, you hover over a game, it'll
Mhm.
play that game's theme music, and sometimes it would maybe even
Yeah,
play like a theme, like a
for
little
sure.
short snippet of that. I can have that on there, you know, like I can choose PlayStation 5 theme, and it'll pop up, and all of a sudden it does the same thing as my PS5. It's like looking at
You
a
see that a
miniature
lot in
PS5.
emulators, right? Like those
Yeah, for
theme
sure.
changes. So I would say that because I just discovered being able to change. The reason I brought up the backdrop situation on Xbox, I just started pulling my backdrops off the internet. Just I didn't know you
Yeah.
could pull backdrops off the internet. I just started doing that recently. I got a random Banksy backdrop on my
Hmm.
Xbox, but
Oh, that's really cool.
the thing is though, if we're talking about what some of those emulators have, right, to where you go to different emulator theme and they are total game, they totally change. They look nothing. They're not just changing fonts and colors. They're like total
Changing
different theme
everything. Yeah.
changes, 100%. It would be interesting to see either one because I think PlayStation leans into that to some degree, but I haven't seen either of those consoles lean into it the way that emulators do. Because with
Nah, for
emulators,
sure
there's
not.
so many different options and they completely change your interface, man. Right?
Yeah, they
They
really
change
do.
it in totality. You know, some games might automatically play when you select them. Some games might be more static. Maybe there's something playing in the background. It'd be interesting to see consoles as a whole embrace that kind of
That
customization.
freedom a little bit. Yeah, and I think as consoles move in more and more into that PC scape like landscape, we're gonna see more flexibility because a lot of people are going to basically mod the hell out of like the OS systems. And you know, when you get into like PC, you're getting more into those mods and the open sources and all
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
100%.
So we're gonna see that, especially if what Xbox has been telling us is true, and the next like Xbox is basically a PC at that point. You know, I think we're gonna see
I
a
think they're
lot more of
saying that
that.
because they want to charge PC prices, man. And how do you, if I can't charge, I can't say this thing is a console because you can look
Yeah.
at me like, why would I pay that for a console? Change the name to like a laptop. Just like I told you, I feel better about my purchase because it's a
Mhm.
laptop and a gaming device. I think people feel better about multifunctional devices. But in this next one, I just feel like Xbox just want to charge a lot.
What is and it's crazy too, because like they're gonna have such an uphill battle because like the cost of RAM SSDs, and all that stuff are skyrocketing through the roof with like the AI implementations. So I'm like, if they want this thing to be one of the beefiest PCs on the market, if that's their keyword here, and like having specs to kind of show the case that off is going to be pricey for the consumer and for them in general. Like even though they're
Yeah,
Microsoft, they can
100%.
bulk buy a lot of those components. That's scary because I'm like, a lot of people were thinking this was going to be $1,000 console. If prices stay the way they are right now, with RAM going through the wazoo and such like that, this could be 1,500.
It could be. I could see them looking for doing the double skew, man. Like they trying to get under that price point, trying to
Mhm.
get to where they feel like a price point is acceptable. Because I feel like
The Series
if they
S
come
basically
in,
all over again.
if they push 1,500, right?
Whew.
They push 15, and that also depends, Sebastian, on when they release, right? So if they push 15 and release anywhere in the next year or two, then that seems substantial. If they
That's
release 5
dead on
years from now,
arrival, I
I
think,
gotta
man.
see where it is, because that 15 would be the upper, right? No way you come in, and I think they're gonna try to find a way to squeeze that lower end under 1,000. That's why I think that I think they would love to have their tier pricing be, if I can just get into the 3 figures for the lower tier, and then get into the
Basically,
4
the
figures
iPhone model.
for the pro tier. For
Yeah.
that, for that, you know what I mean? If I can get into the
Yeah.
4 figures for that pro tier, that's the pricing I really like. That's where I really want to be. You know what I mean? So I think they might. It wouldn't surprise me, man, if they keep. I mean, they're not far from it now,
That's
man. It's not
that's
far from it.
expensive. Oh, and so
Yeah,
that's the iPhone model to the T. You have your lower end models that kind of like make people balk, but not as much. But then you introduce the Super Pro, Hyper Pro. If you're a tech bro, I gotta have it kind of consumer item that is ungodly expensive, but then it has the specs to back it up. Dang, if that feels kind of cringy to feel like we're getting closer to in video games,
that's
though.
where it is. Right. That's where
Yeah.
we're marching. We're marching towards $1,000 price point, ladies and gents.
Yeah, I mean, in PC games, it's been like that, but like in consoles, that feels icky.
It is
It feels
icky. It's
gross.
100%. It is. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And it's a situation now where I feel like it's getting so bad that some of these companies are looking to try to reclassify their product, man, to get it to where they feel like they can charge whatever they want to charge for without causing a revolt.
So I'm gonna pivot off of something here, like games that don't make you revolt, and I want to talk about your game of the year. You're like we're
Yeah, man.
as of we're recording this, we're 4 days away from Christmas. At
Yeah.
this point, unless you play a game and it's just gonna blow your like mind away, I don't think you are going to change your game of the year at this point. So
Very true.
Worldwide
Very
Red,
true.
you've played several games. I know you played Kingdom Come Deliverance. I know you played Avowed, Outer Worlds. I know you played like those games in particular, but I want to see what is Worldwide's game of the year of 2025.
I think I just texted to you by mistake, so don't look at your text message because I'm
Okay,
not
cool, cool.
looking
I'll
for
put my
that.
phone away.
Do not look at your text message right now.
Okay, I'll put my phone away.
I am trying to hold on. Let me see here. Let me see here. I'm trying to see. Let me go here.
Do you think it's a game I'll
And
guess?
yes,
Okay, gotcha.
I do. Okay, hold on. Let me see. All right. So I first text you about this game on March or April 29th, 2025.
Okay, that's Katie's.
April 29th. April 29th. Oh, it was right after. It was right
Oh, it
after. I
was
played
right
Kingdom
after
Come
Katie?
2. Right. It was directly after Kingdom. I played Kingdom and then I said,
Okay.
hey, Claire,
Okay.
I'm going to say what I said. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is very dope. French developer, which is refreshing, and a storyline that could stand on its own. My type of game. That's what I text you back then.
Mm-hmm.
Back then. I knew. I told my girl back when I played Claire, I said, hey, it's going to, and here's your response. Let me read
Yeah,
your
for sure.
response to that text
Go
message.
ahead,
Okay.
go ahead.
Here's your response because I just saw it just now. Your response, I've downloaded it, but haven't played it yet. Oblivion got his hooks in me hard.
That is crazy.
Now, Oblivion, I was trying to have Oblivion have his hooks in me. So I played Claire, and that was what I sent you. I sent that to you and 3 or 4 other people
Mhm.
at the same time. And I told my girl at that time, I was like, hey, man, I think that I played the game of the year in the
Already.
first 4 months. of the year. Like, I was like, the first 4 months of the year, I played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2,
Mhm.
which I absolutely loved. You know how I felt about Kingdom Come
Yeah, for
Deliverance.
sure.
I was like, man, that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was amazing, and Claire was amazing. I think one of those games is going to win Game of the Year, and it is no surprise. Even if if you go to any convention, any Dragon Con, any gaming convention over this past summer, as I did with Dragon Con here in Atlanta, you knew what was going to win.
It was
You knew it
just
was
a
going to
wrap.
win.
It was
You
just
saw
a
a
wrap.
billion Claire outfits. You saw a billion Claires out there, a
Mhm.
billion Claire costumes. You saw them out there. And
For
that
those who
showed
come
you
after.
right then what that game's impact was.
I
The game was so amazing, such an amazing game, such an amazing storyline. You know, it mixes my absolute two favorite genres. I said, this is, man, Dark Souls and Final Fantasy had a baby, man. Like, this is it. This is it for me. For guys like me, this is it, man. You know, this is about as good as it's gonna get. So I'm very happy to see that get the love that I feel like it deserves.
So this is your game of the year, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33.
Like 100% without a shadow of a doubt. It's kind of like when I played Baldur's Gate. When I played Baldur's Gate, I said, you know what, this is it, man. This
I
is it.
I love that. I love the choice. You know, like I'm gonna be honest with you. I was doing some things. I was, studying in cybersecurity and doing some other different things like projects, and like in that scape. And I was trying to get a clear runway because I felt like when I saw Claire Obscure and heard everyone talking about it, I said to myself, I'm like, okay, I am going to give this game its just desserts, but I want to give it time to where I can play this game and not be distracted by anything else going on in life. And when we had that text thread, I was just like, I was playing Oblivion because Oblivion was comfort food game, and I'm like, I don't have to focus my like hardcore life on on Oblivion because I've played it before, and two, Oblivion's kind of easy as hell. Played Claire Obscure in September, and it rocked me. I'm talking about rocked me. I played this game, and I was like, oh, this is what I wanted at Final Fantasy. Like,
You played it in September.
yeah,
Okay, so I sent you that day. I was trying to see when it actually came out. So I didn't know I played it that close to the date because it
I think,
came out April 24th,
yeah, April.
2025, and I
Yeah,
sent you that message the 29th. It was I played it pretty close to when it came out.
yeah.
I know why I played it because we talked about this, Sebastian. We talked about this the year prior. We talked about it. We talked about it. I saw it at one of the game showcases.
Showcases, yeah, for sure.
I saw it at one of the game showcases. Yeah, and we had discussed it via the game showcase. I saw like, hey, that clear game looks pretty good, pretty interesting. Anyway, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I was so anxious to be there week one as soon as possible. So I bought it. I was there pretty early, and that game deserves all the accolades, 100%.
All right, let me ask you this: like, you mowed through this, you rolled credits on this, right? Okay. Do
Man,
you feel?
and I got my characters up pretty high. I'm in just coming to the end game areas, but
Mhm.
the areas that go way beyond. If you're used to playing these kind of Final Fantasy type games, you know there's always areas that go way beyond. Bosses that go way beyond with the end game bosses, or it's not the ultimate end game boss. So I haven't beat the ultimate end game boss in Claire's. I can't say I beat it, um, but I
You beat the
definitely
story though.
ran through the story. I've rolled credits for sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So you rolled credits. I want to ask you, there's 2 points to where I was absolutely shook during this game. Light spoilers for everyone who hasn't played it. I'm not going to go deep into the spoiler point. I'm just going to say the beach scene at the very beginning, like where you first get to the island, and I'm thinking like, oh, we're about to settle in, we're gonna see the environments, and then that beach scene happens, and everybody just the shit gets real so quick, like
So
absolutely
quick, bro. So
so
quick,
quick.
right? Yeah,
That
so
part wrecked
fast.
me, and then the middle part with Gustav and
Yeah, 100%.
his big part, and
Always
I
a
was
game wrecker in games, right? When that happens, it's always I think that like the moments in Final Fantasy like that you had, and people know Final Fantasy 7. I'm not even going to say the moment, but people know in Final Fantasy 7 there's a moment that happens there with a character,
Yeah,
um, somewhere mid-ish game of Final
yeah.
Fantasy 7 that really just fucking or was my bad. It really just messes everything up.
No, you good.
It
You
messes
good. Let it
everything up
rip.
emotionally. I still remember that moment to this day. I
I've
remember when
never.
that moment happened,
I know what
and
you're
they've
talking
had
about. I never played
moments
Final
like that.
Fantasy 7.
Yeah, and you know the moment I'm talking.
I
You
know
know the
what you're
moment
talking
of
about.
which I speak. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So the thing is Claire has a couple of those moments. To be honest with you, you have a couple of those.
oh yeah, like
That's
him,
nice.
like shortly after the beach when Gustav is like he sees like the graveyard or basically like the makeshift graveyard where all the bodies have been
Oh,
buried
it
and
looked
he
crazy, right? Man,
my
the imagery in this
god
game is amazing. They really nailed it in this game, in my opinion. They nailed it in
man
some for one, like Yakuza, I thought there was a great blueprint for the path
yeah
forward for a genre that I love in the turn-based RPG genres that you just look for where is the path forward for that in today's gaming landscape. And you get games like this that kind of show you this and Yakuza kind of show you where the path is, where the path forward is for turn-based gaming.
and this is going to inspire so many people because like the way that they implemented real-time elements into the turn-based games like the fact that they implemented
Yes. Yes,
the
man.
dodge and the parries and
And
man
made it
that
make a
thing is
difference. It's not just
yeah
an add-on. It really made changes how you play the game,
it
depending on
really
which kind of
does
player you are.
it really does because I'm like it took me a while to get used to the parries part so I was more of a
Yeah,
dodge
I'm definitely
person
more of a dodge guy. I'm a dodge
yeah
person. I'm usually, but I'm a dodge guy in Souls though. So that kind of carries. You know what I mean? That's
yeah
typically the guy that I am in Souls. I'm not a parry player. My parry game is okay, is decent, but I'm a dodge player over a parry player.
Same here. And then but like I forced myself to learn like because of the counter mechanic to where like if you get a perfect parry,
A
it'll
significant, right?
oh man, you can actually wreck your opponent. And that forced me to
Yeah, for
try
sure.
to learn that a little bit more. But yeah, I love that. And then I also one of the weird things that I really liked about this game, and it sort of surprised me, was like I really liked the character models and how like they sort of look high end and also like retro at the same time because like hear me out like I think like this looks old school JRPG with the character models with the hair to where it's not like it's realistic but it's not you can still see video game there. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
it's not quite to the levels to where I'm like we're getting now to where the graphics feel extreme. Like you look at this and you say, that's a video game character still." You know, like even though they have realistic quasi features with like their hands, their facial models and such like that, the hair and all that kind of stuff kind of brings you back and you're like, oh, okay, that's still a video game, but the performances in that you're like, oh, this is high quality acting in a video game, you know?
Correct, man. And even when it starts, right? Like even in the
Mhm.
beginning, and it starts with the whole premise of the where the 33 comes from.
My
That's amazing.
God, yeah.
That's amazing. Like when I was seeing that and just building the storyline of how that
Mhm.
33 comes about, that's for a big storyline guy like myself. These are things just like I told you about in Final Fantasy 7 that I experienced way back in the 90s that you just don't forget about certain stories that you come across.
Yeah, and old girl from the tutorial area was like, you get to walk around with her. Spoilers for people who haven't
Right.
played this game. You walk around for her, and then she's the one of the main catalysts for
You got
the
reels right then, brother. You got
right
real
then
very
and there.
fast.
Right then and there. And I'm like, damn, I just met old girl. Like, we walked around on
Yes,
town.
man.
I'm like, it's so real. It's so real. It's so like it's so poignant, it's heart wrenching. It's also like it is abrupt. I love every moment of this game except for one. Like one thing that I never could get behind. Let me see if I can find it real quick because you might need a visual representation for this part. Like, let me see if I can find it. There's because I have clips of one moment that really got to me in this game to where I was really it was at the very beginning. Here it is. Here it is right here. Let me see if I can find it. All right. So you see all these characters, right? Like, these are the main 2 characters from the very beginning. You got Gustav and you got I think it's Loon. I think is how I that's how I pronounce her name, but I'm an East Texas
Okay.
bumpkin. It could be Lune or whatever. So, really cool models, right? Really cool character models. Everything about their outfits look dope as hell. Their apparel set looks really cool. There's one thing that bothers me. Why is Lune barefooted? Like,
I knew you were gonna say wear her shoes. I already
where
knew
are
you were
shoes
going. I
at,
already
dog?
knew you were gonna be like, where are her shoes? Now here's the thing. Here's the thing, Sebastian. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the problem when people try to rationalize. People attempt to rationalize. You see people attempt to rationalize gender or a race in a fictional setting. Okay?
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like you're dealing with a similar problem here, Sebastian. Here's your problem.
Okay.
The problem
gotcha.
is ignoring all of the rest of the stuff going on here in this graphic. So if you're looking at everything going on here in the graphic, her not having shoes is probably one of the most normal thing occurring in everything else that's happening here. So the fact that this is all occurring, look at these things that you're fighting, all this stuff is happening is kind of crazy. If you're just in reality,
There you
it's
go, right
crazy
there.
in general. So then to think that, but she doesn't have shoes on. It's kind of just like you just got to throw it in there in the mountain of crazy, man. Like it's a
is
lot
the
of crazy
mountain of
stuff
crazy.
happening over here. You know what I mean?
It is the amount of crazy, and I do get your point. In this very fictional land that is going on, that's the least of their worries, and there's a whole bunch of crazy people are getting dusted like Thanos.
Correct.
Absolutely dusted. You're right. It's very small potatoes on the level of crazy. My thing is, everybody else got on shoes. Like, everybody else got on
Did
shoes.
she,
She
is
over
she
here
not
hobbit
wearing
feeding.
shoes ever? Does she stay barefoot the entire time? Does she ever have shoes on?
I kid you not. If you don't change her outfit, she's barefooted that entire time.
Okay,
She's
okay. So there are outfits where she has shoes.
Oh, yeah, for sure,
For
for
sure,
sure.
right.
I had to change to it because it broke
because
my.
the thing is, Sebastian, let's say that you change her outfits and she never gets them. Now we gotta start really asking the question. Like if you were to change her outfits, right? Because then that would tell me that this is a solid character choice. Like they're telling you, no, bro, she doesn't wear shoes. You know what I mean? This is who she is. You know what I mean?
You know, like there's. Did you ever watch Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
you didn't like Aang?
I thought it was okay. Actually went to see that in a movie theater
You
on
saw
a
the
first
bad
date.
version.
It
saw
was
the
around.
bad
Yeah,
version.
I went to see it in a movie theater on a first date with a teacher, and she was like, "I've really been kind of want to see this." She was like, "Don't laugh at me. I've been wanting to go see this movie." When I saw it, and we were both like, "That was not great. It's not a great use of our time."
You need to
at
watch the
at that time.
animation.
Okay, yeah, I wish I watched the animation.
The animation.
I watched
is,
the live action, and it was man.
Nah,
goodness.
you did the wrong thing. Like
It
you
was
did the
not
wrong
great.
thing. You chose bad in life on that one.
Yes,
Now,
man.
like the animation is phenomenal. Like it is one of the
Okay.
most.
I would imagine.
I think it's one of the best non-anime animations of the last 20 years. Easy money.
Okay.
It is
Okay.
is absolutely phenomenal. But I thought I was going to hit you with a reference from there, but there's a girl who's an earthbender. Her name's Toph in the Avatar: The Last Airbender. She doesn't have on shoes, but the reason why she doesn't is because she's an earthbender and she's blind, and she is she uses her feet to basically see because she feels the vibrations of the earth around her.
Interesting premise.
So they
there.
gave her a real life narrative reason why, as opposed to all the other characters, she was predominantly barefoot through the entire show. This girl right here, I was waiting, but if you don't change her outfit, if you keep the baseline outfit of Loon's entire run throughout the Expedition 33 campaign, she's barefoot the entire time. Everyone else wears shoes, and I'm wondering, even characters you meet, other characters you meet, I'm like, why is she just out here looking like a hobbit? You know, like why she got hobbit
that
feet?
was a conscious design choice then, right?
Yeah,
Conscious
for sure.
design choice. And then you have to, I guess, on some panel, go chase down one of these guys on a panel somewhere discussing. I'm pretty sure this has been asked, man. I'm pretty sure this has been asked.
I haven't really thought about it until I was thinking, like, what is the rare things I don't like about this game? And
I'm gonna ask chat real quick. Let's ask chat GPT real quick, man.
why is Loon barefoot?
Doesn't Loon wear any shoes? Okay, right. That's what we want to know.
I wonder if they're gonna know who Loon is already.
I'm just gonna
Or
I'm
Lunette.
gonna see how smart it is. I feel
Yeah.
like it should be able to do that. I put 33 though. I
Okay.
gave it a little bit of context. I should have just
That's
let it
good.
go and see. You know what I mean?
For those who come after. Boy, the performances on this game is amazing though. Ben Starr is absolutely phenomenal in here. He's phenomenal. Charlie Cox is phenomenal. Like before I played this game, I didn't realize Daredevil, like the guy who plays Daredevil voices Gustav as well. And that took me off guard.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, what does it say?
All right. Here we go. In Claire Obscure, at least this is what chat says.
Okay.
Loon is being barefoot is a deliberate character design, as we kind of noticed, right? Being that
Yeah,
it
for sure.
doesn't change throughout, you have to manually change that. Not a random detail. Lune, if that's how it's pronounced, is closely tied to intuition, emotion, and the otherworldly. Bare feet often symbolize sensitivity, vulnerability, and a direct connection to the world. It visually sets her apart from more grounded or militarized characters like Gustav. She feels less bound to rules, structure, or conventional protection. The name Moon reinforces this. Moon imagery is often linked to instinct, cycles, and liminality. Never heard that word before. And it's a thematic fit with Expedition 33. The game leans heavily into surrealism, fragility, and inevitability. Death, the paintress, and the countdown. Being barefoot subtly communicates that Luna exists in a space where normal defenses don't really matter. Emotional and existential stakes outweigh physical ones. Interesting.
Get it. I get the design choice. I almost wish they would have gave her like a in real time, like a real reason why, like a story
Like an
reason why.
exposition of some
Yeah,
sort,
for
maybe some
sure.
kind
Of
of
why.
backstory. I mean, you guys might
Yeah.
have some Dark Souls going on here. You know that a lot of that Dark Souls story comes in. You got to read into stuff, man. Like they're not giving you a whole lot. I feel like it would have been nice maybe to bitch for people that are curious. You know,
I think I hold this to a higher bar than Dark Souls in storytelling though, because they put so much effort
yeah,
into.
for sure. Like
Yeah.
it blows. I mean, are you kidding me, man? I feel like in the first maybe 20, 30 minutes of this game, you get the entire Dark Souls. Like the best Dark Souls story was by far the one of George Martin, Elden Ring, and George Martin was involved in that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, for
they
sure.
had a whole outside human being, and I feel like that was the most fleshed out Dark Souls story you've ever gotten in life. But a lot of Dark Souls stories are famous for that. They're more like lore based, and a lot of the fans do the storytelling for you on the back end, and there's a lot of storytelling that other people tend to do on its behalf. And I feel like Claire's going to have a lot of that, despite the fact of having a more in-depth story. It's going to have a lot of that as well.
So let me ask you, like this one Game of the Year at the Video Game Awards
Mm.
ran away with it. Most awards won at the Game Awards with I think 9.
Really?
Yeah. Did you not hear about this one?
No, I didn't hear about that stat. Wait, most awards ever won, huh?
Most awards won Expedition 33. I think. Let me make sure and validate the number here. But
Okay.
let's see. Claire Obscure Expedition 33. All right. So it had so
Man, just watching it, man, it's like, man, bring back the memories. Like games like this, they take over my life so much. Games like this, Kingdom Come, Baldur's
it's
Gate, like
so good.
but there are moments in time for me. They're almost like songs that I was listening to at a certain time, or a smell that brings back reminiscent of certain times. When I see gameplay footage from games that kind of took over my life at certain points, like The Witcher did at a couple different points in my life, it's kind of like it just takes you back, man. Even watching the footage just takes you back to earlier this year.
Yeah, that man, I completely understood that. This one, so it won 9 awards at the Game Awards, the most awards
Okay.
won by any game in history.
How long has the Game Awards been around? Has it been around a
I
long
think
time?
like since
At least 10 years or so?
2000. I think 2002, 2004.
Word. That's over 20 years.
Yeah,
If it's over 20 years, that's a pretty good run, right?
yeah, I think that's a solid. That is a solid little run. So let
9.
me see.
Goodness.
Okay, so it was established as it is now in 2014. Evidently, there
Okay,
was
so
a
11
different
years. So in
adaptation.
11 years.
Yeah. So wait. So like as it is right now, it is established as it is right now since 2014. There was like a different adaptation before then, evidently.
I see.
But
I see. So
in the-
in its current iteration.
in its
11
current
years.
iteration, it's went from about since 2014.
Okay.
So beforehand, it was like more so. I think they called it more so like the Spike TV Video Game Awards.
Oh,
And
okay, I remember that. I remember the
yeah,
Spike. Okay, yes, yeah. Ask me, gonna be old, man. Man, could take me back for that Spike TV Video Game Awards. Yes, I remember that.
so this is so
But
spiritual
I'm gonna
successor for
count
that.
those too, by the way, because it's pretty much just a different iteration of, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Those count because they still were recognizing video game excellence back in those days.
So based on that, so you almost got a 20-year run. If you want to count that, if you want to say just the Game Awards as it is now, it's 2014. Still, think about it like this. Think about how many games have come out since 2014 alone. You had Zeldas
Yes,
that have come out since then. You've had a Grand Theft
Baldur's Gate,
Autos.
even,
You've
man.
had,
Baldur's Gate was a moment in gaming.
yeah, yeah, Red Dead, God of War. I'm like, those
Right.
those are other games that have come out since that run. I'm like, and to say you got 9 awards, which is the most ever in a single year,
It's an amazing game.
that's an insane run. Yeah,
It's an
that's
amazing game.
insane.
To me, without a doubt, my game of the year, brother. Without a doubt.
Okay, so that's your game of the year. What is the game that you wish you actually would have tried? The one, your video game regret. I didn't get to this. I wish I would have tried this game out before the year was over.
Man, I'm getting to it right now as we speak, brother. So, one of the things I was going to put up my handheld was Chrono Trigger. Now, Chrono Trigger, I've been holding out for Chrono Trigger because it's we all know if you're a JRPG gamer and you ever want to know what the best JRPG game was considered the best JRPG game of all time, turn based especially, or Dave, I forgot if Chrono Trigger is turn based. I think it is, but definitely JRPG. A Chrono Trigger is routinely there. It's
Yeah,
routinely there.
it's among
It's
the list.
routinely there. It's always there on the list. And with me, what I've been waiting out for is just a significant remake of the game. And I'm thinking that a property like this that Squaresoft has in its back, in its chest or closet or wherever they got the game, they're gonna make a remake. It's already there. It's writing itself. It's already well received in one iteration of the game. Why would you not remake this in some meaningful way? And they have not.
No,
They have not.
absolutely not.
They have not. So I've had to buy. So when I bought this 3 or 4 days ago, I bought my Rogue Ally and download the Steam store on it. My first purchase of the Steam store. I'm scrolling and I see that the Steam version of Chrono Trigger is on sale. All right, and it's on sale for $7, $7 and some change.
Right
And
amount, just right amount.
I see it as like, just this is what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like, this is it, man. Like, this is it. Like, I'm getting a version that's compatible. I can just play it. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to try to download it any other way. I can just play it. It's just gonna work. It's on Steam, and I paid $7 and some change for it.
$7.49.
Yep, 7 and some change, and here I am. And
So-
and now I have it. You know what I mean?
So, do you feel like you're going to dive deep into this, or you feel like something's going to take your attention away before you actually get to?
I
play
have
it?
not. So it already has, because I started playing Where the Winds Meet, and now it's a wrap. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
gotcha.
It was pretty quick. It was pretty quick work. But here's
The
the
rise
thing.
and fall.
Yeah, it was
The rise and
it didn't
fall.
take long, Sebastian. It didn't take long. But at the end of the day, though, I am going to play it. I am going to play
Okay.
it. I'm going to
So,
play
is
it.
that a
and I'm just
2026
hoping-
goal of yours to play Chrono Trigger? No, not committed.
Man, here's the problem. Here's the problem. Man. Life has gotten very interesting in the last few years, man. And when life gets interesting, it's just hard, man. It's hard because there's always something better. There's always the pull of something else, whether I can go work out. I'm learning Spanish. Aprendo español. Sí. It's a situation where there's always stuff to do. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So now I got to find time to just be on the handheld doing it, because I would never play this in any other.
No, for sure not.
Okay.
You're not sitting on your PS5.
So I got to find time to
playing
be
this
on the
right now.
handheld. And then now it may become my handheld game, because before my handheld game was, what RPG was I playing? Was it not Dragon's Quest? Oh, Ni no Kuni. I was playing Ni no
Sweet, yeah.
Kuni
That's a nice
on the
game.
handheld. And Ni no Kuni was my handheld game that I play. I'll pick it up. I might play it in Korea, pick that thing up and playing it in Europe now. You know what I mean? A year later.
Mhm.
But it's been a year since I played it last. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It took me forever to beat it at this point, at this time that it's taking me to play it. So I got to think about it, how it would have to fit somewhere into there. Because I wanted it to be like my nighttime game. I'm gonna dive in. It's kind of like your nighttime novel. It's gonna be my nighttime game. I'm just gonna get in bed. I'm gonna play it. But now gaming has just progressed so much to where your nighttime game can be the same game that you were just playing a second ago in a living room, and you can just continue playing it
Yeah, for sure.
on your
For sure.
device. It's, you know what I mean? Like your nighttime game isn't that super dumbed down game anymore, Sebastian. You know how you used to like, okay, if I'm gonna like not sit in front of my console, I'm gonna go and I'll play Tetris or something, or I'll
Yeah,
play
for
something
sure.
on my handheld that doesn't take much cognitive
But
power
but now
from a
you can just
technology
play the same
standpoint,
game
right?
you were playing. Yeah.
I'm just continuing the same game. I'm
Mhm.
pausing and restarting it on a handheld in bed. So that you see how hard it is. You know what I mean? But I want to get to Chrono Trigger, man, and I plan on it.
Is there any specific 2025 game that you feel like you missed that went, and you were like, man, I wish I would have actually played that?
Assassin's
Or
Creed Shadows, I want to get to it because I usually play Assassin's Creed annually
did you play Ghost of
or whenever it
Yotaro,
came out.
right?
Yeah, that was then
You didn't
therein
miss
lies the
much then.
problem.
Yeah, I was
That's the
about to say
problem.
you ain't missed
Therein
much then.
lies the problem. The problem is Ghost of
Mhm.
Yotai and Rise of the Ronin.
Yeah.
Those two are my problem to playing Assassin's Creed Shadows.
You already ate that meal. You just
Correct,
it's just a different
twice.
name. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Twice. So now it's just time to. I'll get back to you later. You know, so
Mhm.
it gets punted into next year. Is what ends up happening.
Oh, that's a rough year to get punted into too. That's a
Punted into
rough year.
26. Punted
I
into
don't think you're gonna
26,
get
and
to
we'll
it in
see.
2026, man. I don't think you're gonna get to it.
Bird.
I do not, man. There's so many game releases, and I know you like
What's
usually.
coming out in January? Like, where do we start? Like, do I not get to it in January 26?
Okay, so what are you playing right now? Like as of like this
Okay,
moment.
so right now,
Okay.
I just dived into because I was playing Red Dead Redemption, which I might finish Red Dead Redemption because I'm not gonna re-up my PlayStation Premium.
Okay.
I'm
makes
gonna
sense.
go down to the cheapest tier
Yeah.
of PlayStation.
Okay.
And I know right now I have it free, but I have it free by nature of being on PlayStation Premium. I
Yeah.
have it for free.
Gotcha.
So I've been playing it. It's not gonna survive that, bro. Like
Nah.
my PlayStation Premium ends January 1st. If I
Okay,
don't
so
have
nah.
it beat by then, so I'm kind of playing it, but I'm kind of forced playing it in that vein, is what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. And I'm also thinking like maybe it comes to PlayStation Plus games, free games one day.
I'm not sure.
You know what I mean?
I'm not sure. Mm-hmm.
But it's not an expensive game, but it's not going to
No.
survive that, bro. I'm not going to pay for
No.
it. So then I'll probably go to Where the Winds Meet. I'm enjoying that. I
That's
really
80
just started
hours.
playing that.
That's
Now
80 hours.
he said Where the Winds Meet is 8 hours.
80. It's like getting
80?
close to like 40 to 80 at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. So Where the Wind Meets, I'm happy to spend the 80 there. I'll be
Okay,
there,
gotcha,
brother.
Gotcha.
So
So that
I'm
might
a
be
very
January.
I'm a very long game and guy. You know, I
Okay.
love very long vested experiences. If you tell me game's 100 hours, where some people are running for the hills, I'm downloading that game I'll
In
be
the
downloading
trenches.
it as we speak. Right, I'm downloading it, and then because you said 100 hours, I might not have thought about that game because
Yeah.
you saw it when I thought you said 8 just now. I thought you said 8.
Nah.
And then
I
Where the
think
Winds
it's
Meet
like
was about to get readjusted to like all the way down the list. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was about to get punted out of here. Because the only reason that the turnoff I had for Metal Gear was I heard it was only 8 hours for Metal Gear Solid. I heard it's a very
Delta.
short runtime.
So
a very
they're
short
saying
runtime. It's turnoff for me.
so on wheretobeat.com, it looks like main story of where winds meet is 32 and a half hours. The side plus main story plus all the side quests is 73 and a half.
Okay, I'm looking to get to that 73.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to
Also,
get there.
the average time to that usually people put in is around 54 is what people saying. So I'm like, that
Okay.
feels like January is right
So
there.
if I decide to embrace that, because I haven't necessarily embraced Where the Winds Meet yet, because I'm coming off
Okay.
of Ghost.
Yeah.
And I haven't embraced it. There's still a chance for Outer Worlds 2 to get in there and take
Okay.
some share away, but it's probably going to be Metal Gear for now.
Okay,
It's
that's
probably
only
gonna
like
be the
8
game
to
that I
10
look to
though.
play.
Yeah.
And after I knock out Metal Gear, then I'll probably pivot to Where the Winds or Outer Worlds or something like that. I gotta look around and see what the gaming landscape kind of looks like.
Did you ever play the sequel to Like a Dragon? Yakuza
Yeah,
Like a
oh yeah,
Dragon?
oh yeah,
You played
yeah,
Infinite Wealth?
absolutely. I was there
Okay.
instantaneously. I
Okay.
was
I
there
was
day one.
wondering.
I was day one for that, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Day one for
I
that. After that great Yakuza game I played, it's amazing. I wish I can go back and replay that and just like
Man, I'm
go
ready
through
for a
that
third one.
experience of replaying Yakuza. It was just so it was so amazing.
Ichiban's the GOAT. But no,
Yeah, man.
I was wondering because like, right now Steam has the winter sale going on, and I was just like, okay, if you haven't played that, I was gonna tell you at least like it's deeply discounted on that winter sale. But
Yeah, man. It's a dope game. You should get it if you have not played it.
yeah, that one is so that's interesting. January right now is a good like open zone, but I feel like you're going to play a lot of the stuff you that are high on your list because like nothing super huge comes out in January. February though gets kind of like in
That's where it
murderous
starts to
row.
get thick, right? I think
Yeah,
so too. I think so too. Like in January, also I'm gonna try to go to Puerto Rico in January.
man, that's a travel. Whatever is a travel game for you, that's travel time at that point to add on to all that. So I'm like,
Yeah, because what ends up happening is slow periods in my business tend to be January. So what I do is I look for gaps in my schedule,
yeah,
and then I can plan my travel off that. So I'll say, hey man, I might not work for 6 days in between these 2 days.
yeah,
I might be off for 6 days. Then I try to say, hey, I might pop out to some place within between there. 2 to 3 days usually is not enough time for me to do it.
yeah.
But if I know I have 4 or 5 days,
It's
I'm out of
gone.
here.
You gone. You out of there.
I'm gonna try at least for a day or so.
Yeah, so I'm like, February is where it kind of gets spooky though, because I'm like, if you're a Neo person, Neo 3 comes out in February.
Yeah, yeah, that's me. I'll be there for
Yeah,
that.
High on Life 2. If you play the first one, the second one's coming out. Resident
I'll
Evil.
be there, but High on Life, I'm a casual observer. I'm not really there. You know what I
I can
mean? I'll
understand that.
visit. I'll visit High on Life, but unless it keeps me there, you know what I mean?
I can understand that. Resident Evil Requiem is also February. If you're,
I'm a bigger
I'm a
fan of the
chicken.
Resident Evil series as a series.
hmm The one I'm looking forward to, and it looks like it might be pushed back to March now, but is Crimson Desert.
What is that?
Boy, I've been waiting to tell you about this one. Okay, so Crimson Desert is how you just said you liked Assassin's Creed.
Mhm.
Okay, so imagine open world Assassin's Creed mixed in with Zelda, mixed in with Game of Thrones and The Witcher, and you have this
A lot
game
going
called
on, man. Like,
that is
what is it? Because that's pretty ambitious, man. You know what I mean? That's an ambitious undertaking right there.
that
Is this the first game? Is this the first iteration of the game and stuff, or is this like the second in a series or so?
no, this is the first iteration of a game that they took from it used to be it still is an MMO, but then they took it from an MMO and they made a single player campaign standalone game out of it. And
Interesting.
it's a wild little
Interesting.
formula when I say it like that. But then like they have so many components, like you said, but then there's so many components that kind of flow together in a really cool and dope way. So let me see if I can pull this up really quick.
Yeah, because I want to see what are they doing right there, man? Like if you're telling me you're gonna be doing all these things,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
that's a
gotta
lot to
nail it.
nail,
You gotta
Sebastian. That's a
nail it.
lot to nail because it seems like one thing not nailing one thing on that list can fuck the whole list. You know what I
Oh yeah,
mean?
I
Like,
believe it. I believe it. I believe it. But that's kind of where that's kind of like. Do you remember where Cyberpunk was like when it like the hype started to build
yeah,
around
yeah,
it?
yeah. Before it got focused and kind of wielded itself into what it is now, the iteration of
Yeah,
what it is now. I
but
feel like they
there
were kind
was
of like No Man's Sky when these games come out with massive ambitions and they kind of achieve it. It's just like 5, 10 years down the line.
yeah.
So
That's
maybe with another
exactly
5 or 10 years development, they would have actually gotten to
that's ex-
a releasable game. You know what I mean?
that's exactly right. It's like it's that plus it's like there's what gives me hope for this one, and in a way that I didn't have hope for No Man's Sky, in a way that I did have it for Cyberpunk mistakenly, is like the development around this game seems like it's not only going strong, but like they delayed the game for right reasons. Like so I'm like they're just saying, "Hey, it looks like the first time they delayed the game was because like the GTA stuff came up, and where everybody was just like, "Oh, GTA announced today.
So they
We're
were
getting
releasing when you say GTA stuff, as in we're releasing in the same window of
yeah,
time?
yeah, for sure.
Okay, the release window. So the problem is now GTA's punted. Where
Yeah,
are they
now
releasing now? Like, so they better nail that spring release is what they were looking for?
yeah, now they're looking for spring. So this is it. This is Crimson Desert. You play
Okay.
as a guy in you see it's kind of like it's got this Assassin's Creed type of like movement and open world, but then it also mixes in a little bit of Where Winds meets kind of like substantial things, and then Yakuza's like brawler style all in one. But then on the open world, the reason why I say it reminds me of Zelda in a lot of ways is because like there's a lot of physics based movement in the sense to where you see towers and stuff blow up around you. And do you see all this landscape? Like
Yeah.
all of it, you can go to. If you see it on the map, you can go to it. It's what like they're describing.
Always attractive, right?
Yeah,
Always an attractive draw in these
the
games.
Witcher stuff is like smaller like things that you can hunt down as far as like task and other things like that. And there's the GTA, like you see, I said crime spotted when
Yeah.
you kicked. It has like a lot of different elements of games that I really enjoy, and it's all trying to combine them all into one. And then it has kind of like a Witcher presentation when it comes to like the people around you as well. And that's interesting.
Never go wrong there. Right?
Yeah, for sure. And that's interesting. And it's like, it feels like Assassin's Creed gameplay, but with like the Witcher kind of vibes into all this. And I'm like, and then you see like this kind of reminds me of like the Animus, like when he walks through the portal, the Animus
Yeah.
from Assassin's Creed and all this kind of stuff. And then it has like the Zelda meet Assassin's Creed kind of climbing elements, the Zelda like Tears of the Kingdom where you're taming horses in that same sort of way. And it has almost like this kind of reminds me of Ultra Hand from like Tears of the Kingdom as well, a game that I did not like, by the way. But I'm not a. But did you see how he repelled over the fence
Yeah, that
line
was
just
pretty
now?
dope, right?
And then
Yeah.
boom, he transforms. Also, like then it has
This
a little
right here to me, man, is like Mr. Everyman, like Mr.
yeah,
like coolest person in the world, like that, just because they're doing everything. Like this is like you're gonna get like this. You're like, this is made by somebody who just could not make their mind up on what kind of game
yeah.
they say. You know
That's
what,
worried
man?
me.
Let's add this in there, and somebody here, whoever's producing this game, never knew the word no.
Yeah, for sure.
They never said it to any human being that came in there or suggested anything. How about we put like jump kicks in this game? Yes, it's a great idea.
Yeah,
It is
and
like everything, every idea that was presented. Let's think about a game like this. What didn't make it into this game? How
that's
crazy was
crazy.
your idea?
But look, there's Sky
not
Islands,
to
just
make
like
it here?
Zelda.
Correct. I feel like you're just walking out. There's like some kind of PUBG, like dropping into like the battlefield type
Yeah.
situation. Like, okay,
Like
okay.
there's
Is this,
3 levels.
Is this a Chinese developer?
I believe Pearl Abyss is. I think they are overseas, but I don't know where.
Let
me
me
see.
look up where they're. Is that the developer Pearl Abyss?
Yeah, Pearl Abyss. Yeah,
Pearl Abyss. Let's look that up. Software developer company.
yeah. I think they might be China. No, South Korea.
Interesting.
South Korea. And
What's it called?
this was called Crimson Desert.
Interesting. South Korea. My girl, she's Korean.
Oh, really?
This is yeah. So South Korea. This is interesting. That's the reason that's what started my whole vacation. What you call it? Just going to Korea because she's. We went to South Korea because she's Korean.
That's really cool.
So that's
So
why
I'm
we
like,
went. But
I think
yeah,
we're
this is
starting to get
interesting.
really cool development projects from outside of the typical
Yeah, I was thinking
places
that
as
with
well.
the French developer, right? With
Yeah.
Claire, with the Claire developer as well.
Yeah, Claire developer, and then like China has never usually been like a hard video game
That's
developer
where the winds meet,
location.
right? Where the winds meet
Where-
is a China developer.
Where Winds meet, and then Black Myth Wukong is also China.
Both Chinese developers,
studio.
huh? Very
Yeah.
impressive.
So I'm like,
I
usually
love
it's
it.
been
I
Japan.
love to see it, man.
Yeah,
I love to see it because like what you're doing, because especially even about a guy like me who likes to travel,
Mhm.
I love seeing different cultures' iteration or interpretation, I should say, of life. Like what their interpretation of life is, how they see life from their lens, so to
Yeah.
speak. And games can be a microcosm of that. You know what I mean? And you notice I was telling my friends when I was playing Claire, I said it's refreshing to see a French developer. I didn't even know if it was truly a French developer, it's a French game.
Yeah,
But
for
I was
sure.
like, it's just France is just in this game, man. Like it's in the game. Like you could tell it's in the game. Stuff like
Like
that,
EA.
man. Yeah, it's in the game, man. Like I feel like it's hard to separate though. It's hard to separate certain cultures, putting their culture, their influence on, the gaming spectrum. And I think it's nice to have a lot more iterations to a lot more saying iteration a lot more additions to the table, the big gaming table, other than just like Japan, United States. I think we have Poland, CD Project Red.
Yes, Poland is CG Project Red.
So I like seeing a lot of different developers now getting some shine here because you see a game like this, seem like it would cost $billions of dollars to make, man. You know what I mean? You're looking at stuff like this. And maybe with the advent of AI and stuff like that too, Sebastian, we will see more players added in. It'll be interesting to see AI's impact on gaming.
I think we will see more players in like video development side of the fence and like video game development. But I also think like we're also going to see that because there's so many big studio layoffs as well that,
Okay, that's interesting.
yeah, because like a lot of these companies have laid off some of these small, like a lot of these talents, and these talents are teaming up with other people in the industry and making their own studios, and then that's how we get the Claire obscures. That's how we're gonna get like the Kingdom Come deliverances of this next generation or this next wave. Like we're going to get like all these studios that are going to make. I would say you remember how like growing up, there was those games, they called them double A games. They weren't
Yeah.
necessarily big AAA blockbusters, but they were that nice middle tier. You remember that era?
Hmm.
Double A sort of
Yeah,
went
for
away
sure.
a little bit, and now I think like double A is coming back, but it's just like there's three tiers now. I think in video games, it's like I would say there's indie, which is like tinier, very smaller, niche, very streamlined. I like projects and games that are very much like we have a vision. We're just going to see this one vision through, but and the production budget is like going to be more minimal than like and maybe the team is like 1 to 10 people, like we're going to see smaller games like that. We're getting a whole lot of those. Then I think like there's the next tier instead of double A now. I think it's more like triple I, triple indie, to where like it is like Claire Obscures. It is like I would say like Hollow Knight Silk Song with Team Cherry. I would say the Kingdom Come Deliverance people with what's the Poland studio? I had it right on my head, but
I forgot the
Warhorse,
one
right?
for yes, yes. Amazing, by the way.
Warhorse. Yeah, Warhorse Studios.
Amazing game.
Where
Kingdom Come
yeah, I'm
was.
like, we're getting
And let's
like,
not forget too, Sebastian, with Baldur's Gate, that
oh
was a
yeah,
Belgian studio,
Larian.
right? Larian's is in Belgium. So
Yeah,
let's think about that from a game of the year standpoint the last few years here.
all
We
of
have
them.
games that came from different places. These are kind of like you saw this happen kind of in the NBA with the MVP awards. You
I
saw it
was
happen
just
in
about
the
to mention
NBA
that. Yeah.
where a lot of guys come from overseas and they are starting to be the guys, even with SGA now. Like you're starting, they are the guys. There are guys from overseas are the guys, and it'd be nice to see that happen in a gaming landscape, right? And from if you look at the biggest award, or game of the year, the awards,
Mhm.
then the international studios have showed out, taking that award here the past few years.
I was just about to mention that, and it feels like you and I have the same brain sometimes because like I was just about to bring that sports comparison back into it with the NBA and how it's become like so international. I think like
Yeah, man.
I think the level of AAA is kind of going to be like have a lot more competition, and I feel like a lot of they're going to get their lunch ate up a lot of the times. Like by these smaller, hungrier,
Hungry,
like
man. Right?
hungrier
They're ready.
teams.
They're ambitious. They're
Yeah,
ambitious. They want their games played.
yeah, it is. That's absolutely crazy. And did you hear about the story of Expedition 33's like of three big talents from like that started the studio were Ubisoft people?
No, what is that? What happened?
Yeah, so like three major talents from there were Ubisoft people, and then they went on to make their own studio that later became Expedition 33. that became that studio. So I'm like, hey, like Ubi's, and the stories go that that evidently Ubisoft didn't think like this type of game was going to be great, like for their portfolio, and was they kept saying no to their ideas and such like that. So they're saying, we'll go off and make it ourselves. And Ubisoft, which is a studio that right now that hasn't been nominated for anybody's Game of the Year awards in a very long time, just said
Yes, because of
no.
their cookie cutter nature, a
Yeah,
safe
for
nature
sure.
of doing business, for sure.
For sure. Said no to that type of idea, and that type of idea
Another French
just
studio, right? Ubisoft's French studio, I think.
yeah, the other French. They have studios all over the world, but predominantly French. But like, yeah, they said no, and they're a huge studio. Well, I think there was a article that came out and said they were in the top 4 of like biggest studios in the world at this point. Like
Yeah, I can see that.
they didn't think this game was going to be a success. They didn't think this type of game was going to be a success.
Well, yeah, here
That's
we are.
crazy. Yeah. So,
Here we
okay.
are, my friend.
All right. So, real quick, I know it's getting long-winded there. I want to ask you a couple of questions before we go. One thing that I'd be remiss not to ask you is like, what are the games that you're probably looking forward to mostly to play in the future here?
Definitely GTA, man. Like we want to see what the holdup is. Like let's get on with it. Like yeah, in the big GTA crowd. I was very very disappointed in the game getting pushed out the year, but I had friends who saw it coming. And they punted it already later into next year, so that's now we're punted into the danger zone. Like so, once you're punted into fourth quarter, guys. Anytime a game is sent into that fourth quarter, you're in the danger zone for that thing getting punted out the year altogether. Like it could happen. You know what I
It
mean?
feels like it's going to get punted again. Yeah, at that point,
No, so and if that's the case, so GTA, of course, look because there becomes a certain point where you're like, let's get on with it. And the problem is with let's get on with it with a Rockstar is that they have GTA 5 and they just make too much money from GTA
Yeah.
5. They don't have to
There's
get on
no-
with anything.
There's no hurry up
Yeah.
there.
They just don't have to. You know what I mean? They just don't have to do it.
Mm-mm.
We're already making hundreds of millions of dollars, bro. Get out our face type thing. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, how do you rush that? So it is
You
what it
can't.
is. But if it actually comes to fruition, I don't even know if it's like realistic to even ask for such things now. But GTA 5, 6 for sure.
Is that instantly day one? I'm basically calling in at work type of
Yeah,
situation
absolutely. I'm
there.
calling in. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I might call in the day before work. I might call it.
So okay, so GTA 6, we know it's looking like fall of 2026 now. Is that yeah? Like, do you feel like that's a good time for it personally?
Yeah, absolutely. And better than the spring. GTA
I,
is just
I
a
almost
bigger.
wish I would. I almost wish it had came out in the spring more than the fall.
I 100% wish it did.
Yeah.
But that's selfish for me. I think for selfishly for myself. Yes, absolutely. It needs to come out in January. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I wanted to come out like yesterday. I want a January release for GTA because it'll be a moment no matter when it comes out. But GTA just feels like a fourth quarter moment to me. You know
Do
what I
you
mean?
feel?
It just feels like a fourth quarter moment. Fourth quarter, and it'd be interesting to see if games, because as we see with games that have come out, like with Claire, that's not a fourth quarter game, but it also wasn't not a super triple A game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Fourth quarter is more for your super triple A's, your super like what you really feel like is going to be your hits, right?
It
And it
has
just
been
feels
that
like to me,
historically. It feels like February now is becoming like one of the biggest releases of the years now.
that'll be interesting to see because ultimately what ends up happening is no matter what you feel like you want it to be, it's going to be what people tell you it is, right?
Yeah.
So whatever moment, like Claire to me is a game that could have came out 12 months of this year and
yeah.
been the moment it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you keep having games like that, then these quarters won't matter.
Yeah. So I wonder, like who is probably like pissed about this game getting pushed back into like fourth quarter? Like Xbox for sure. Like Xbox is going to make money because they're going to have this on their platform regardless. But think about it like this: Xbox, you have Fable. You have Fable that's supposed to come out in 2026. You have Halo. You have Forza. and you have Gears of War. Your big four, I would say, are the
Mhm.
big four of Halo at this point.
Mhm.
What the whole company is built off of at this point at Xbox. All your big four were supposed to come out in 2026. Where do you put your games out now? What
You got to put
game
them
do you
out because you don't know. I think you brought up a good point that Rockstar is a moving date. You don't even
Yeah.
know if it's going to be 26. Like, so it ain't no point at this particular juncture in time. What benefit is it to you to try to chase a moving date? Because Rockstar could just move it. They're comfortable over there. They don't care. You know what I mean? They don't care what day it comes out because they're still printing money from 5, right?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
they know that 6 is going to sell 1 billion copies whenever it hits. So they're comfortable.
Can
They're
you
the ones
imagine?
playing kind of bully ball, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Phil Spencer, I'm on the phone with Rockstar Games like every 2 days and being like, "Hey,
Right.
you got
That's what you
got
got
to
to do.
release date.
That's what you got to do, bro. Tell me something. Tell me
Tell
something.
me
Like, just give me some
something.
information. Tell me something. Like, let me know when do you think it'll be out. Like, so I know if you tell me, if I can get on the phone and get a real source in Rockstar, this is what you should be paid to do if you're at these companies.
Yeah, for
Get a
sure.
real source over at Rockstar and say, hey guys, what do you realistically feel? Like, do you realistically feel it'll be November, or are you thinking like right now, if we're in, let's say November, let's say we're in June, 5-6 months out,
Mhm.
June, May range for 5 to 6 months off November, and you say, hey, you start making your phone calls and saying, hey, are we really thinking November? If I'm getting even a feel, let's say they're not giving me straight answer, because a lot of times they might not, depending
No,
on
for
your
sure
level
not.
of friendship. If I get the feeling that I'm talking to you, and there's no way in hell you're gonna make November. You know what I mean? I'm talking to
for
you,
sure.
and I know from just being in games that your energy is saying that, hey, November seems doubtful.
This don't look right.
Then I'm
Yeah.
maintaining. I'm gonna just maintain date. You know what I mean? But let's say that 5-6 months out, I talk to you, and you're like, hey man, we're already got that thing sent out. They're making copies. We're into just pure marketing at this point, and we're just doing development on the back end and stuff like that. Now I'm scared because I'm thinking that, yo, they're gonna make that. At least
If
some
you're a-
iteration, they might patch it, but they're gonna make it, and then they only got to be able to make it, Sebastian. They don't even have to deliver full product. We
Mm-mm.
already know that. If they can deliver 95% Grand Theft Auto,
That's it.
that's
all
gonna be
you need.
enough.
That's all. I just need the campaign mode. That's all I need. I don't even need the GTA Online. Just
Right?
make
A
the
lot of people
campaign.
they don't even care about the online. Just give us
No.
the campaign and give us be complete with that iteration of the game. And if I get a feeling that you are, I'm not trying to release in that when now I got to start worrying about it. But if I get the feeling that you're not, and you could push out of that window, I don't see the point, because it's gonna happen one of these days.
Yeah.
You might as well try to get something out. You know what I mean, beforehand. But I don't think you can avoid it across
Can
the
you-
board.
Can you imagine if you're Phil Spencer and your Black Friday sales just revealed to everybody? You got outsold by like a bootleg Connect. Connect, basically. A little
That's
system
crazy.
that nobody heard of that was basically a Connect, which you got booed for a
Yeah, that's
generation
pretty
ago.
much your device. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. You got booed for a generation ago, and your sales are absolutely in the tank right now compared to your contemporaries in the market. And then you like Rockstar has told you like GTA, hey, we're looking at a fall date right now. I'm on the phone with them and I'm sending them Wagyu steaks like every week at this point, and I'm being like, hey, one, I need to know when this game is coming out. So I have 4 games. I have like Forza, Halo, Gears, and I have Fable. I need to know when I can put one these
Right,
bad
because
boys
the
out.
heavy hitter, I'm putting nowhere near it.
Absolutely
So I need
not.
to know.
Fable ain't
I need
coming
to
nowhere near
know
that.
the hierarchy of how I'm going to release, how I'm going to handle those release windows. Like, what am I doing in what order? You know.
And you need to know, like you can at least tell the shareholders at Microsoft, or you can be like, hey, GTA is coming out. We at least gonna get somebody buying these consoles. Somebody gonna be buying
Right,
something.
and that's going to have a lot of effect, because depending on how
Yeah.
many consoles it comes out for, a lot of these consoles are definitely going to do their own piggyback marketing off of it. So I think that a lot of people there's a lot of stakes there, to be honest.
Hey, PlayStation probably gonna have a bundle. Just the GTA
Yeah,
bundle
absolutely.
at that point.
I would bundle it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I would just need to know when it's coming. You know what I mean? It's just that there's a lot resting on it. It's become something taking on a life of its own,
It
and I
really
think also
has.
due to that, they just don't have to rush it.
Nah, they don't. They're doing their own thing. Now, if I'm Phil Spencer, I'm knocking on the door, man. Hey, I need to know. I need to know.
I'm
Can
pretty
you
sure
imagine?
him and a few people do. They all want to know, man. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's what puts rock star kind of in the catbird seat. Like they don't really have to do anything when you think
Mm-mm.
about it. They don't have to say anything. They don't have to do anything. It's just a great place to be for them.
Yeah, it really is. So I want to ask you the last big question before we go. I want to see what's the temperature in the room is right now. You live in Atlanta. How
Mhm.
how does sports feel around there? To give people like a blueprint or a little tease of your show. Like how does sports feel in Atlanta right now? Like here in
I feel
Dallas
like
it's a different scenario, but like what's the
yeah,
temperature like
I
in
think
Atlanta?
that it's there's a lot of uncertainty kind of heading to the if we're looking from a football standpoint, and then let me think about the other teams because the Hawks. I really feel like there's a lot of uncertainty, but for different reasons with the teams. When you're looking around the first, if I could say in Atlanta, uncertainty, and
That's
I could
just across the
apply
board.
that. Yes, you could apply that almost across the board because with the Braves, the uncertainty comes from not necessarily having a winning season that we're accustomed to here with them. That we're accustomed to that team being the team that you don't have to worry about they're going to win. We just got to worry about these other teams. But no, this last year was not great. So now you got to add them to the worry list. Then you have the Falcons with the quarterback carousel there and confusion and not owning our first round pick for next year is concerning because in the NFL, if you don't fix that one position, you just don't have a team. Like if you don't
No,
fix the
you're right.
quarterback position, you might think you have one, but you really just don't have one.
It changes
So
life.
that's
It
where
really
we find
does.
it. Correct. It changes your life instantaneously. So that's kind of where we find ourselves with
Ask
with
Minnesota.
that.
Like what a quarterback can do
Correct.
for you.
It'll change your life instantaneously with or without. So in my particular situation here in Atlanta, that's the uncertainty we're dealing with, especially with not owning our pick. And with the Hawks, it's kind of like the situation with our superstar. We have a superstar here in Trey Young that we don't really know if we're a better team without him. You know what I mean? Because the team's like is going without him, being without him. I think that he can be a great player, just not the focal player. I think if he's not the focal player on a team, I think he's a deadly second, third option to have out there because you're going to have to worry about him. Like he might not be the defensive threat.
No, for sure not.
If on the offense, you're going to have to worry about him
Yeah.
out there. You know what I mean? So if he's your second, third option, that's going to be a lot to deal with. So I think that he could definitely come back when us build. The Hawks, I feel like are in the best situation because they can build around Jalen Johnson. You got an emerging talent there, so you can build
Really
around
good
Jalen
player.
Johnson, and then you can just add Trey back in. Like you don't have to go out and try to get a superstar to put next to him. You already got a guy there. You know what I mean? So you
I
just
got a
bring
guy
Trey
we can
right back
sell
in.
to you.
No, and I have no interest. I'm not even going to say the name because I have rants and rants going back. You know how many of those 80 rants I had to go past to go find that Claire text? I had to go back past 1,080 rants that you sent me about AD, and
My
I want no
bad.
part of that. Sebastian, I want zero part of those problems. I'm not even going to start for some reason in sports, when people imagine a player coming to a team where there's an old player or an injury prone player, they imagine the young, uninjured version of the guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So when they give you the stats are from either the uninjured guy or the younger version of the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now you're getting an older, more injury prone version of the guy, and they're still quoting these same stats from like
It doesn't mean anything
Like,
now. It doesn't
every
mean
single
anything.
time they do it. And then they talk themselves into signing this old guy or injury prone guy, and then they get injured or something, So
I just want I don't wish this upon you because, me and you are homies and everything like that. But like I
you're
just
trying to
wish
get him off, man. I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You're trying to get him off your team, bro.
Yeah, I am.
You're trying
hard.
to by any means necessary, you want him off your team. And
for
you're
sure.
saying, hey man, I don't wish it on you, but it's better for him to be on your team than my own.
No. I
You
was
know what
gonna
I mean?
say a 3-team deal with you and Chicago might be nice.
Okay, well, thank you for bringing, but thank you for that. That's so nice of you, man. That's so
He
nice of
can
you
go
for
to
not
He
being.
can go.
He can go to Chicago. He can go to where. I just need him not to come here, man.
Yeah.
Especially with what's going on with the Jalen Johnson, and that's kind of a thing where we saw with Dyson Daniels, where you kind of look at it and say, "Hey, wait a second, like wait
We
a
got
second,
something here.
this is something happening here. Why not just stick to that? We got young guys, we got a young energy. Why move? Why bring that 80 energy even into the locker room? Like, what are we doing? Like, why would we do that?
If I was the GM of the Mavs, I'd call you up and be like, "Hey, you see what Houston's doing over here? Houston had a young core. They had a really young core. They were doing really good things, but they need a guy to take them over the top. I got a guy."
Man, Dallas has to be on the phone after every healthy 80 game. After every healthy 80 game, I know Dallas is working the phones, man. Like every game he puts up, hey man, we got 80, he's available. You
At
know what I
Brooklyn.
mean? And then because those games where he's sitting on the bench, you can't make no phone calls.
No, for sure not.
You know what I mean? You got to kind
For
of
sure
like,
not.
you make a phone call, but it might not get answered. But AD goes out, has a beastly game. I'm calling 30 franchises. I'm calling all of them. Did you see what he did last night, man? Like, he still got it, man. He still got it. You guys can have that,
I'll tell you what, man. I know you're not super sold on the AD experiment, but I'll sweeten the pot for you. I'll give you Derek Lively too.
Man, here's the problem. The
And the
problem is
Gafford
not
if you
Lively.
want.
The problem is AD. And the problem is AD
And the
being who
Gafford
he
if you
is.
want.
The problem is that. So the problem is, like, you had to take AD out of that before that to
Mhm.
become interesting. Like, it becomes a problem when you are the problem, man. Like, and this is the big problem. The problem is AD, his injury history, him.
All right, all right.
I don't know where we go from that, man. You know what I mean?
I'm not moving you on AD, but how about we can do a Splash Brothers Volume 2. I can give you Clay and you can partner with Ice Tray. They rhyme.
Man,
They
you know
rhyme.
what? That whole thing about bringing these old guys in here with our new guys. I don't want your old guys funk getting on our new players. We need them guys. We need these guys focused and ready to play the game, and they can't be focused with you guys running around in here like saying stuff. Like, you're over here like signing autographs. They're asking you for autographs because you're the old guys in here. Like,
Yeah.
no, bro. Like, that's not the energy I want.
All right.
I want no autograph energy in our locker room. I don't want no guys
You want the old
who
head?
come into our locker room asking other guys for autographs because grew up watching you play. Like, bro, I've grown up watching you play, so I've been here asking you for autographs. No, bro. No, man. The thought of it, oh man, the simple thought of it, man. Telling you, like,
I'll tell
because I think I've heard like real legs to it. So that's the problem. The problem is I heard that has real legs, and that gives me real concern. Like that is really maybe a thing. Like,
where there's smoke.
maybe
Where there's smoke, man. There be fires.
I'm hoping it doesn't, man.
Nah, all right, so we're in the middle of football season right now. Who you got in going to the Super Bowl this year?
Man, I mean, that's hard to say because you see what the Rams. A lot of people didn't think the Seahawks would do
They're
what they were able to
good.
do to the Rams. When the Rams are considered the best, when you have teams that are considered the best in the league or one of the best in the league, as the Rams were
Yeah.
considered to be one of the best in the league. I haven't watched today's games as we're recording. Nobody I want to ruin. Go ahead and dive into those when we get off. But, when we go into the game that's already happened, a lot of people picked the Rams to beat the Seahawks, even though their records were the same. We saw what happened. It
Yeah.
was our shout out, and the Rams were able to kind of hold up, or Seahawks were able to hold up in there and come out with a W. So
Mhm.
when you see what's considered the best team in the league take an L, literally 48 hours prior,
Anybody's game at that point.
how can you pick? It can happen to
Anybody's
anybody.
game.
How can you pick any of these guys? Because no matter what you can say, the Rams are a solid team.
Yeah.
Right? The Rams are a solid football team, no matter how by any measure. Double-digit wins. Matt Stafford, they've already got a Super Bowl. They are a solid team. Bro, they just lost.
This year feels
just-
like, in sports, like we get sometimes we get like areas to where like sports start to emulate each other as far as like their eras are concerned. NBA dynasties, football dynasties, sometimes they happen around the same time. With the NBA and the NFL, one of the things I'm seeing, especially this year, is like outside of OKC, it feels like the area of parity. Like it feels like it's anybody's game. Like in basketball, outside of OKC, that is. OKC feels like, BTA to everybody,
Mhm.
except for San Antonio. But for everybody else, like in the NFL, it feels like it's anybody's game. It's a battle of matchups. It's like styles
Especially
make
now.
fights.
Especially now, man. Like when these young kids are taking over these franchises and changing their trajectory instantaneously. You see it.
Yeah.
Look at the AFC over there with Knicks and May. You
Mhm.
see these young kids are changing these franchises like overnight almost. So it's kind of like that's creating a lot more parity. Because
it is.
as I've just told you before, the quarterback position is so important. But what do you do when several teams have competent quarterbacks? And then several teams start to begin to have competent quarterbacks. Now, if you see competent quarterback play on multiple teams where it's just not hoarded with like 5 or 6 guys who can throw, it starts to create situations where anybody can take L's. And the NFL has always been that league. Any given Sunday, have always famous saying for the NFL, and it's very true. But with competent quarterback plays spread out a lot, I think it becomes really true because now if we have a couple guys that can put up 30, you got a guy that can put up 30, but I got a guy that can put up 30. Oh, you could take an L.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could have been the best thing is sliced bread just yesterday and then
Yeah.
take an L tomorrow.
Yeah,
You
for
got
sure.
Jacoby Brissett putting up 300 yards on you, bro.
That's
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
crazy.
when you see stuff like that happening, I feel like, I mean, the
You got
Cardinals aren't a
Phillip
good
Rivers
team,
coming
but I
back.
feel like it can just happen to you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it can happen to you, brother. Like, so I like the Rams. I do like, let's look at the NFC teams because I still do like the Rams. Despite the fact they took that loss, they're probably good if they did take it.
So NFC, you probably will have what? Like you probably have Seattle, Rams.
Yeah, Seattle. I need to see a team. I need to see Philly get beat. Philly has
Mhm.
that, what I call that championship thing going for
Yeah.
it. So Philly's got this championship thing going for it and the Rams do too. The Rams have it going for it too. Teams that have won Super Bowl and they still have either the quarterback, other players there that were on that Super Bowl winning team. Now we know Philly very recently, but with the Rams, they still do have Matt Stafford there. Like they don't have Cup, but they
No.
still do have Stafford and they still got the coach. Like you still got remnants of that championship team. This is
A
why I
little
need
bit
to
of the
see the
DNA
Chiefs
still
actually
there.
get knocked out.
Yeah.
If there's still champion DNA left on any of the teams that are kind of making playoff runs, I always think that these are sleeping giants. Like you got to watch out for them because they have it in them. So Philly, I still need to see get knocked off. Even though people consider Philly having a down year, I still feel like when Philly takes the field in any given football game, there's a chance they can win that
They're
game.
in it. They're in it.
You know what I mean? There's a chance they can win the game. So it's like I'm not taking Philly out of it because of that. I do like what the Rams are doing. But the top teams, I think it's going to go down to the wire. It's so hard for me to say it, man, because we got to get through December games. 2 or 3 weeks left. It's still a big 2 or 3 weeks because there's a lot of divisions games, playoff game. There's a lot
Yeah.
of teams playing each other in the
It's
division in those weeks.
It's crazy because like it feels like historically speaking, we would already know like majority of the clinch teams by now. And this year,
Yeah, and or at
only
least
4
have a
teams are
feeling of who
clinched.
they are as
Yeah.
far as teams go, right? Like say, hey, well, it's going to be definitely the Bills and the Chiefs, and you kind of can run down who the players are,
Mhm.
right? This year, it's not that year, man. Like,
Man, I tell you, I do tell you, like, if Buffalo doesn't win this year, it feels like the like the worst missed opportunity. You know, like
really,
if,
with
I-
Mahomes being out, you feel like
Yeah.
you're the point where that you could never get over is not
Yeah.
even there no more. It's not
It-
that hurdle is gone. Is
your
what you're
two
saying.
oppositions, your two ops with Baltimore and the Chiefs, both of them are non-factors this year. Like,
So you feel like it should be wide open for you, is what you're saying.
Wide
It should be Wide
open.
open for you to go in and handle business of all the years. What about this though, Sebastian? Because there's another thing it could also signal here, and that is just a significant, just a serious or a real just changing of the guard, and you're just seeing it happen. You're seeing that phase shift over to where like it just shifts over a bit. And not saying it's changing altogether because you still have the Eagles there, right?
yeah,
And
but
then
that's
depending
different.
on the
Yeah.
health of Mahomes is only 29, 30. So depending
Yeah.
on the health of Mahomes, he gets back 30, 31. He can still have a lot left depending on when he comes back. So I'm not saying it's over, but then now you're going to enter the Drake Mays, the Bo Nix's of the world. Like they're entering the competition, entering the chat, so to speak. Like they're entering. And you're going to have to take them seriously. Whereas before you would have kind of like, all right, man, when Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes get here, they're going to put things back in perspective. You guys are going to lose. Go back home, and then maybe next year. Well, this is the next year, and it's
This
happening.
is
Like,
it.
we're
Yeah.
here.
This is it. I tell you what, it's like if Bo Nix or Drake May win this year, then we're gonna have a serious conversation of are they in that higher tier? Because I'm like before, I would probably
I think
say like
that it'd be a conversation starter, but I feel like they wouldn't do it for multiple years because the guys that we talk about in those tiers,
Mhm.
which is pretty much just Patrick Mahomes.
yeah,
I don't
that's
even know
it.
why
That's it.
we would really think. I don't think there's a guy in the same tier with him. Like, you know what I
No,
mean?
no.
From like accomplishment status, because Brady's not playing. We know
Okay, so
Patrick to be in that tier
Patrick's top of
because
the
of
mountain.
the length of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That we've seen him do it. And the amount of excellence and the high level we've seen him compete with. This is his worst year is just this year. And now he's injured. So he's in a tier kind of like by himself. So I would never mention Bo Nix in the same tier as Patrick Mahomes.
I get that.
And it would take more than
historically
a Super
speaking.
Bowl
Yeah.
for him to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but if Bo, let's say Bo Nix just continues to win. Let's say he continues to win. He can become very much like a Lamar Jackson guy, though, because Lamar, besides this year, they were kind of coming into a year, just a winner. He just wins
Yeah.
football games. Like, he just wins games. He could not win the big game. He could not win the playoff game. So he's judged differently. Lamar's judged in the playoffs now.
That's
You
it.
enter that judge in the playoffs when you're a very good player. So Lamar
Yeah.
has become so good that he's a judge in a playoff guy. I don't care if he goes 12-5. I don't care if they win 17-1. If
I
they
don't care if
lose
he
in
gets
that first
another
round,
MVP either.
he needs to have playoff success to take that next level. So Lamar's in that tier to where he's now so good that we're just waiting for playoff success for him. So I can't even put Bo Nix there.
He's
After
basically
it's gonna
James
take Bo Nix a
Harden.
few years. Yeah,
Like Lamar is
pretty
basically
much, pretty
James
much.
Harden at that point.
Yeah, the point where you collect MVPs, but people are looking at you side eye because not only are you not getting to that next level, you're not exactly performing. You're one of the reasons you're not getting to that next level. It's not like you're going out and throwing for 400 yards and not getting to the next level. You know what I
That's
mean?
exactly why I was making that comparison.
Yeah, it's apt. It's an apt comparison to make. So I think that's going to be Bo Nix has a lot of that. You know what I mean? If he continues to
Mm.
winning, he's going to enter that tier to where maybe he gets an MVP. He needs an MVP to enter the Lamar tier. To enter the Lamar tier, he's going to need championships to even be considered in the Mahomes tier.
So out of all the people who are, playoff adjacent, is there any team that would legitimately, because a lot of these teams are so close right now, is there any team
Correct.
that would surprise you if like they went all the way at this point? Or is it
All the way as into the Super Bowl, all the way as
Yeah.
into the playoffs.
all the way is in a lot of these teams, like I would say, okay, so we got Patriots, Jags, Steelers, Chargers, Bills, Texans, and then on the bubble would be Colts and Ravens. And then Broncos, of course, are the only team in the AFC who clinched at the moment. So I'm like, all those in the hunt teams, and out of every team in the AFC, is there any team that if they make it to the Super Bowl, you're like, oh, this is still a surprise, or you feel like the parody is such a real thing now that I'm not really surprised to who makes it at this point.
No,
'Cause-
there's still degrees to it, right? Because for one, with the Colts were running, but Daniel Jones' injury is going to be significant for them. So I think any kind of run of success they might have with Phillip Rivers is an absolute shock.
Yeah, for sure. I'm shocked
If I look at
so shocked.
Yeah, Jacksonville. I was going to say, so Jacksonville. If I look at Jacksonville, I think Jacksonville would be shocking only because of where they came from. If I'm looking at the other teams, right? Denver, we saw come in last year. So Denver is not a overnight
No.
sensation. However, when you're looking at
Patriots
Jacksonville
though.
sucked so bad. The Patriots they are, but they aren't, in my opinion, because the Patriots, as an organization, they have had down years, but they're
Mhm.
not a down organization because in the last 5 years, I want to say they still were they were
playoff
there
in
with Mac
contention.
Jones.
Yeah.
Mac Jones had them there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you're looking at, and now Mac Jones is gone, right? So now the
Mhm.
Patriots are good. They got Drake May. Patriots are good. What makes Jacksonville so shocking is this was with the same parts. It's
Yeah.
with the same Trevor Lawrence. It's with the same
Yeah.
Travis Etienne. You know what I mean? It's with the same parts you had before. So it's kind of like that would be shocking because if you get there with the same parts, it's kind of like really a testament kind of to the coaching or something, right? Like
Yeah,
you
for
did
sure.
add some players and key players, but your main guys are still the same. Whereas with the Patriots, they had they have a pretty easy schedule, and the coach has changed, the quarterback has changed there. So they've had significant changes there that can lead you to significant success somewhat overnight that lend themselves to that versus Jacksonville, where you keep things relatively the same. You just change the coach, and you usually don't see the kind of run that they've gone on
Yeah, for sure.
with just those
in-
changes,
The most shocking,
Bears kind
I
of
think,
similar with the
Yeah.
Bears, similar because Caleb is still there, and then you change Ben Johnson. Those are still the same guys from last year, but they're pulling it
Caleb
off.
just performed differently though. He's moving a little bit different. It's like it feels like, especially after the throws he put on in that last game, he's like starting to figure it out. Like he's
And younger than Trevor, you know
Yeah.
what I mean. Lawrence has been as a known commodity for a decent amount of time now, versus Caleb's been in the league
Yeah.
a year. So
I think the league would hate it if Jacksonville and Panthers made it to the Super Bowl at that
the
point.
worst Super Bowl of all time. They're calling it the worst Super Bowl of all time, bro. They would absolutely hate it, bro.
They would hate it.
They want those teams to start with New York and LA. Like they want it, and unfortunately, I mean, you're not getting New York in there. But maybe they're pulling for an LA team, man, to get in there for sure.
I mean, you still got the Chargers, I think, at that point.
And the Rams.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like,
Yeah, the
you
Rams.
got-
So the Rams and the Chargers, man. You got to be pulling for either one of those teams to get in there. You got to be pulling for either one. Let's get a Los Angeles team in here somehow, brother.
somehow, some way. But man, I want to thank you so much for doing this. I know we went a little
Yeah,
long
man.
there, but man, it's always
Yes,
a pleasure
brother.
talking to you.
Always, my friend, always ready to bring it on the show, man. And I'll be ready on the chat too, man. I'm ready to bring it in multiple ways there. You know what I mean? I'm always available and ready there, my friend. Appreciate you having me on.
All right, man. We'll get you on back on real soon. Thank you so much for doing this, everyone. Go check out the Discord. The links in the description below, and go check out this guy, Mr. Worldwide's podcast below. We'll have the description and the link below as well. Thank you so much for listening to this stacked episode of the Single Player Experience. That's Mr. Worldwide Reg. You can find him at Reg in the ATL, one of the best podcasts for your sports needs. And
It's actually just the stats. I changed the name. I changed the name, by the way.
Okay.
I changed the name. Changed the name to Just the Stats. It used to be Reg ATL, but it was like Reg ATL Sports, kind of what I had it as a Reg ATL Sports kind of addition to it. But then it's kind of taken on more of a life of its own. So I just took the sports part off and changed it to Just the Stats is the name of the show now. So Just the Stats on YouTube and on Spotify.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Go listen to Just the Stats. I'm going to reach out to this band for their link, and we are going to be out. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your holidays. I've been Sebastian. That's been Mr. Worldwide.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Until next time. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Remember, the best experience is a single play experience. This is a single play experience. This is a single play experience. Yeah, hit that like, hit subscribe, keep it locked, no doubt. We talk passion, progression, what this life's about. Got reviews so real.